What is up? And welcome back to the Pop Culture Jungle, where we talk about whatever we want related to pop culture. It's been a week. We were not here on Saturday. We were not here on Wednesday. But we're here now.
Whoa!
I am being joined, obviously, by Justin.
Hello.
It was Star Wars Expo this weekend. That would have been cool to go to.
That's in Japan.
So we're going to talk about Star Wars. We're going to do our review for Daredevil, which I finally watched last night.
Bro.
That's how far behind I was on that.
Oh, my Lord.
We're going to do our season review, season 1 of Andor, and the season review of Daredevil, because it's the end of that season. We got a lot going on. We also will be starting tomorrow night Andor Season 2, Episodes 1, 2, and 3.
I don't know.
Why are they dropping these in triple batches?
Because there's like 12 episodes.
There's like 12 episodes and they want them done in like a month.
Yeah.
And I don't understand why.
I don't know, man.
Actually, all honesty, I think I actually have a better idea why they're dropping 3. I think they're hoping that they will get enough audience watching on between all 3 episodes to get them on what?
That little chart?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think they're trying to manipulate it that way around because again, it counts by minute of watched, not necessarily by person watched.
Yeah.
We're also going to talk into, we're going to do trailer reviews because trailer reviews do actually pretty well on this channel for whatever reason. We're going to review the Fantastic Four trailer. We'll see how that goes. We're going to review the last trailer for Thunderbolts because apparently that's still coming out. Are you frozen?
What are you? What? I was, yeah. All right, man.
We're going to talk about new sabers coming to Savis just after we built them. You're freezing a lot tonight.
I can't look up anything else in a different tab, apparently.
Apparently, because you're still there. You are
chunking right now, yeah.
Talking about the update coming to Smuggler's Run, Lilo and Stitch news, and those don't pertain to the show, so we're not talking about those. That's it. Only a few topics.
Sounds like a lot. It kind of isn't.
Besides the fact that normally our Daredevil reviews take about a half hour each, and this is a season review, and then we have to do a season review for Andor.
I don't think we'll stick on that very long, though.
I mean, we'll see. Who knows? We chat. We ever. Anywho, starting over at... Where's my cursor? There you are. StarWars.com. Fortnite and Star Wars collide like never before in the new Galactic Battle Season. The fate of the galaxy is in your hands in the new Fortnite Battle Royale event beginning May 2nd, just in time for Star Wars Day. Who would have thunk?
Event? It's a season.
This is Star Wars. They don't understand what Fortnite is. They're just there. Let's be honest, this Paige Lyman probably has never even played Fortnite. Just about anything is possible in Fortnite, which is why it's no surprise that Jar Jar Binks looks a little different in the newly revealed trailer, which just debuted at Star Wars Celebration Japan. And before we continue on with all that, ooh, I did this in the wrong order. Share these tab. Let's look at the trailer, shall we? Dude, I had the biggest smile on my face watching this.
For me, it was excitement when I saw the Star Destroyers. And then when I saw that we were going to be able to fly the X-Wings and the TIE Fighters, man, I knew we were in for a good season.
No, this is going to be a good season. plus weekly updates to the season to continue the push like an actual story with it. That's kind of cool.
That's how they do their 1 month seasons. So I wouldn't expect anything less.
We do have confirmation the Death Star is now visible in the sky.
Yes, it is on the map.
It is on the map. Let's see. Go back. I forgot I now can actually do frames. There we go. What do we think about how Palpatine looks?
Looks like Palpatine. Fortnite always cooks with skins that they don't own the rights to. This is the promotional image that was released alongside the press release. And it's very important because I think these could all be Battle Pass skins, which I'd be okay with. I hope that these are all Battle Pass skins. We know one of them for sure is. Two of them actually for sure are. I'm hoping
2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
7,
7,
8. Then
what's your 8?
The Stormtroopers.
2. I don't think regular troopers would be part of it.
Oh, part of the Battle Pass? No. But it's also a month long. Remember that. So it's only going to be 4.
Because we know. So
I read a report.
She's going to be our first one for just owning the pass.
I read a report that Mace Windu is going to be in the shop.
I see, and I keep hearing back and forth of that. But okay, let's say Mace Windu's in the shop. It would be 1, 2 would be the Mandalorian, 3 and 4 would be Jar Jar and Sidious. So that would work.
Yeah, but Evie has to be in the pass because she's customizable like that.
Evie, I straightforward think is going to be the first one. But it's going to be your unlock.
Yeah,
just for having it. Okay, who's our main top skin for the whole season?
Oh, like our most excited
for? Like our level 100 skin.
Oh, level 100? Either Palpatine or Jar Jar, honestly.
It's Jar Jar. It has to be Jar Jar. If it is not Jar Jar, then somebody missed the mark. Because legitimately, straightforward, when the announcement came out, so they brought out the voice actor for Jar Jar, as he put it, ever since his character had made his way to the screen and gave supreme control or gave emergency power over to the supreme leader, he had seen from that point on the continuous memes of Dark Jar Jar. And that's what pushed it, was the straightforward, the memes of Dark Jar Jar is why he got the skin.
So several leakers have said that Palpatine and the Palpatine, Wookiee Cuddle Leader, and Jar Jar are all going to be in the Battle Pass, and then Windu is going to be in the shop.
Okay.
And yeah, I've seen multiple reports that Windu is going to be in the item shop.
Because Luke's just returning. Luke will be in the shop.
Yeah. Oh, you're going frame by frame. I was in another tab. You can't make out anything there.
What?
You can't make out anything here, really.
No, well, all you can make out is the X-Wings are 4-seaters. 1 inside, 3 across top. The TIE Fighters are 2.
Seats. Yeah.
Okay, so this glow here,
yeah,
and the fact that we see that it's lighting up, and then jumping to here with the Death Star sabotage.
Yep.
Do you think the island is going to get hit?
No, because we need this island until November, unless they change the island this early.
I don't think they're going to change the island, but I think we are going to get hit and we're going to lose a zone. And it's going to change.
I can see that. Yeah.
And that will be the sabotage, is that it wasn't as powerful as it was supposed to be.
Maybe.
I don't want jetpacks back.
I do.
I do like the Mace Windu.
Yeah, he looks good. I hope that this means the battle bus is actually coming back. But it could just be for the trailer.
I don't know, because everything else in this trailer feels very much like it would be put in the game. Yeah. And this seems like an aerial season, so this would be the season to do the battle bus.
Maybe.
I hate this skin so much. But I kind of want it. No?
No.
Why no?
No.
They brought out like 20 people in Cuddle Team Leader Wookiee outfits to start throwing out t-shirts.
I mean,
with the announcement.
Are you surprised?
I'm not. And it looks just
remember at D23 they brought out like 20 Wolverines.
But again, were those real or were those fans?
They wouldn't be able to pull those up in one night.
Unless they were using some of the leaked like art that I don't know. It's possible
the art didn't leak from my knowledge.
Okay. I do like that we're not just stuck Mando, but we actually are getting like Mandalorian customizable. That's cool.
Hopefully, it seems to be customizable. We haven't had like any confirmation on it, but
we'll see. It also even looks just because we can see 3 different versions of it right here.
Yeah. Oh wait, go back. Let me look at his blaster. That's new.
That is new.
Or it's Mando's one, which I hope they bring back.
Mando's one is coming back. We did get that confirmation, but Mando's one is a different look than this one.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a new blaster.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, Liam.
Hello, Liam. Why did you stop? I forgot. If I move my mouse cursor off it stops giving me my frame by frames.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's strange.
Yeah, so see what I believe this is. I believe this is her 2 versions against each other.
I think it is, yeah. Yes, it is.
No, that's Jar Jar.
No, that's Jar Jar. Never mind.
There it is. I'm excited for sabers coming back. Do you think we'll finally get a lightsaber pickaxe?
No.
I wish.
I hope they bring the ones. I hope they bring the ones back from last year. The ones that had the Force abilities built into them. Yeah,
I would almost imagine, since we are bringing in Force Lightning, that we're going to lean heavy on the Force abilities.
Well, because like last year, there were rifts around, and you would train under a specific force, and you would be given a lightsaber and that Force ability when you have that lightsaber equipped.
Okay.
And you can go to multiple ones and get all of the Force abilities.
This is so funny to me. I'm so excited. The fact that Darth Jar Jar is an actual thing. You know how overly used he's going to be for the longest time by like all the sweats? Okay, I just want to pull up this. So Imperial Takeover is pretty easy. It's going to be, that's just to kick off the season. So that's the Imps taking over, moving on. The Pull of the Force.
That could be adding lightsabers.
Yeah. Mandalorian Rising is when the Mandalorian
locale is
drop
gonna
troops are going to be coming in. Star Destroyer Bombardment. That's going to be crazy.
Yeah.
That
could be
the...
like they could add a POI of a Star Destroyer in the sky. I can see that happening.
That, or I'm almost wondering, because it's the bombardment, I'm almost wondering if there's going to be a like mythic item or whatnot falls, and it's like a one-time use, and you can mark for a bombardment.
They've done something like that before.
Kevin Davis, I don't believe these rumors. Kathleen Kennedy leaving in August. I believe when I see it. There was nothing officially announced over the weekend. Again, we kind of joked about the fact that Snow White might have saved Kathleen Kennedy for a minute because they're trying to fix everything else. But yes, I don't believe it. I think she's going to be around at least until next year. Or she may be pushing it off and trying to stick around for 2 years to do her retirement at the 25th anniversary. So it means 2 more years of Kathleen Kennedy.
I got sketty.
Hey, we had lasagna tonight.
I have spaghetti.
And then Death Star Sabotage. Okay. Death Star Sabotage. What do you think that means for us on the island? Do we get to do trench runs? That'd be pretty cool.
It depends on how big of a budget they're going with this. Honestly, for real. I want to because like it'd be like extremely reminiscent of the original Marvel season.
Yeah.
If it's literally that, I'm okay with it.
Or okay, so this may be what it is for the end of the season. Okay, we're now full on prediction territory. I think that week is going to just be us prepping for the fight.
I hit the wrong button.
Oh, you're back. You're gone.
I hit the wrong button.
Got it. But that week is just going to be us prepping for the fight. And then the scripted end of season event is going to be us doing the trench run and attacking the Death Star.
Yeah. That's exactly what I'm thinking.
I don't think there's anything else in this article. Let's see. Oh, excuse me. That was weird. Best known for Jar Jar Binks, Phantom Menace, and Jedi Master Kellen Burke and The Mandalorian. Force Lightning. Players can expect a number of surprises across every established Star Wars era, including a Star Wars themed battle pass featuring iconic characters like Emperor Palpatine and mashups like Wookiee Cuddle Team Leader, as seen on stage at the celebration. An all-new item shop offering, including Mace Windu, the ability to pilot and co-pilot X-Wings and TIE Fighters, themed map locations, so multiple.
Yep.
And so much more. Yeah, I think that's all that there is to that.
That article also confirmed what we were talking about. Palpatine is a Battle Pass skin, and Windu is a item shop skin.
Yeah, that one did confirm it. So cool. That'll be exciting. I'll be playing lots of Fortnite next month because I'm back to liking Star Wars. I never stopped liking Star Wars. I've always hoped for Star Wars. I've been playing Old Republic like nonstop lately.
Yeah. Well, sticking with Star Wars Celebration.
Or do you want to jump yours in?
I got mine.
Or do you want to eat for a second while I do the next one?
Sure.
Okay. Mute your mic.
Oh, can you hear me slurping?
I can hear you smacking your lips. Thank you. So another thing announced at Star Wars Celebration. Star Wars Maw, the Shadow Lord. In Star Wars Maw, the Shadow Lord, the former Sith returns. This is a new animated series from Lucasfilms just announced, and it will be coming to Disney Plus in 2026. This is taking place after the Clone Wars, where Maw plots to rebuild his criminal syndicate on a planet untouched by the Empire. During the 20th anniversary Lucasfilms animation panel at Star Wars Celebration Japan, surprise guest Sam Witwer took the stage to reveal his return to the galaxy as the star of the next animated series, Star Wars Maw Shadowlord. Whitwer first portrayed Maw in Star Wars The Clone Wars, later reprising his role in Star Wars Rebels, in a new series set after the event of the final season of Clone Wars. Maw rises again to lead the Underworld factions. Fans attending the panel in person got an early look at the series' new animation style with an in-room only sizzle, which is annoying.
A new animation style?
Yes.
Because I hate, hot take here, I hate the Lucasfilm animation art style. I think it's ugly.
Really?
Yeah, I hate it.
So you don't like the Clone Wars animation?
No, I hate it.
Oh, see, I love the Clone Wars animation. But yeah, that's cool. I'm excited for that. That was something surprising.
Yes and no. Actually, yeah, because what have they been working on?
Correct. If Thunderbolts does make between 70 and 90 million domestic box office debut, this is a win for non-Avengers films. Fans need to stop expecting Marvel films to open to 100 million or more.
I think you're so real for that, Kevin. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I think you're still a little high. I think it's going to be more about 65-ish. But I'm like 65 to 80, so we're still in that same range.
I've been seeing a lot of positive stuff. Okay, so specifically, you know the guy that flamed Minecraft for having like really bad CGI and being a boring video game movie? Hold on, I have to burp. That was disgusting. Sorry. That same critic said that Thunderbolts was one of the best MCU films he's seen in the past like 5 years or so. And he said that the acting is all great and all the actors have great chemistry together. Specifically, Yelena and Bob are standouts. And then the story is what really made the film for him. So we've seen him be hypercritical about something and he's talking extremely positive about something MCU. Then that gives me high hopes.
Again, I'm hopeful it's going to be good. I would like to go and enjoy a movie. Like this weekend, I will go and enjoy a movie, but I'm not going to review it because it's a 25th anniversary of a movie.
That's this weekend?
Yeah.
Crap.
Yeah, this weekend is the return of episode 3.
When do I work? All right.
What?
I work at 3 and 4.
Well, since now we're talking, give me a second. Like I can't buy anything till Friday. But...
I'll talk about mine. While you do that.
What?
Also revealed at Star Wars Celebration, we have, or sort of, not revealed. We have Star Wars Zero Company. It was announced like the day before, and then they showed the trailer there. It's a newly announced single-player turn-based tactics game developed by Bitreactor, excuse me, in collaboration with Respawn Entertainment and Lucasfilm Games. Respawn makes Apex. That's why I thought this was weird at first. Attendees got the explosive first details about the game currently in development. Here's our look. I'm just gonna kind of skip over this and we're just gonna watch the trailer down here because that's easier. I have to pull it up in a different tab now.
Yeah, but real quick.
Yeah.
Whatever, I don't care. I'm just gonna throw this up because this is crazy. You ready for this?
Yep.
So this is 11:30 a.m. on Saturday.
Oh my god!
This is 12:15 on Saturday.
Jesus Christ!
This is gonna be a good weekend for Star Wars, but
yeah,
I guess we're gonna definitely look at that pretty quickly here. So that I guess that will be for you and I in the post show.
Yep. All right. I haven't watched this yet.
Are you sharing audio?
I hope so. Oh, I'm sharing the tab. Oh, it's just quiet. Oh, it's turned down all the way. Bruh.
We'll go about half. There it is.
Okay.
And full screen.
Full screen. Okay.
When people talk about the Clone Wars, they talk about the big moments.
So I saw this trailer also.
Crisis points,
This looks pretty hot.
invasions,
Yeah. Turn-based tactics like XCOM or Marvel's Midnight Suns,
Truth is,
which immediately got my
there's a
head.
war you don't
Right?
see.
I'll probably pick it up. I'm not gonna lie.
The one
It might be on
fighting
Game Pass
shadows.
because it's
The war beneath the war.
a EA Play game.
A war that's won with the right strategy.
Especially if there's going to be like
ciphers, good
multiplayer, like we
old-fashioned
could go against each
sabotage.
other kind of situation. That'd be fun.
I don't think there will be because
I
these
know.
games don't typically have
These
that.
aren't the heroes.
I
they
know. It
tell
doesn't mean I
stories
can't
about.
wish. What is the name of this one again?
Professionals.
Zero Company. I don't know how deep into the Clone
Setting
Wars it
aside their
is,
differences to take
but
on the
that
impossible.
Clone Trooper specifically is a Gen 1 Clone Trooper, which I find interesting. And then you have a Jedi and a Mandalorian working together.
Well, because I don't believe
But
Zero
that's
Company
the
necessarily
job.
takes place in one
And they
period.
get it done.
From what I saw, it does.
Okay.
And this is pre-alpha gameplay right here. Hell yeah. All right. I'm excited.
So yes, it is. I can confirm it is a single player game. Unfortunately, like that, those kind of games to me would be super fun if you can play against somebody and just try to strategize them.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a letdown that they never are.
Yeah, they have a
Wars
brand new
Celebration
studio.
was just okay. Put out one film a year in theaters is a good thing for Lucasfilms. People still love Star Wars. People still love old Star Wars, is my correction to that. People want to love Star Wars. Is that a good way of putting it?
I don't know, because like the diehard Star Wars fans will always love Star Wars. So
But a lot of so even at one thing I saw from Celebration, a lot of the interviews and such, they were talking to people, and these were the diehards, like these were people from the States and such that were there. A majority of them, straightforward, all were pretty much saying anything after Disney took over, pretty much they did not like. Besides The Mandalorian, season 1, and some of them like season 2. And I think that's unfortunately just where we're at this point, is there's so much issues with some of the things that happened with Star Wars. It's just trying to re-clean things. And I think that's why Maw is so important. That's using a character that fans really did like. And it's going back to the animation style, which a lot of the diehards fans really liked from the Clone Wars.
So it's a new animation style. It's not going back
It is
to
a
that
new
same-
animation style, but it is going back to like that kind of feel of a show, if that makes sense. I'm assuming you're taking a bite.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, put your food down for a minute, because I know this next topic you want to go ahead and be paid. You want to be more focused in on.
Oh yeah. Also, Bit Reactor is a new studio. This is their first game.
Okay. No, again, it looks good. I probably will pick it up. Also, give me one.
I'm here. I'm vamping now. My camera quality looks like poo-poo when it's this big. Does it always look this bad? Chat. Does it always look this bad?
Pretty much.
Oh, no. Why are we backwards? Okay, I fixed it.
Okay. Just so you know, you can also drag and swap us.
Whoa!
Just so you know. Okay. So, we did get, which I was surprised we got this week. If folks
I think you said half a message.
I think so. Well, wait a second. Wait for the second part.
What is this? What are you showing me?
What?
Oh, I do want to talk about this.
Yes, I know. Because you and I are going to go ahead and probably be on opposite sides of the fence of this.
Probably because you're lame. You don't have fun with movies anymore.
No, probably because I go ahead. What? You're gone again. Oh, you're taking that wide. Probably because I'm not a super stuck fanboy and can talk about it one way or another. All right. We're going to get into it. So this week, which was surprising, we did get the full trailer for Fantastic Four.
First trailer.
It's the full first trailer. So we're going to watch it. We're going to review it. Oop, I did not mean to start you. And we're going to debate it. Because that's what we do here. Again, everyone's welcome to their own comments, with their own opinions. We do discuss them back and forth, and we do debate them back and forth, but that's part of what we do here. That's how we run the channel. No opinion is a wrong opinion, correct?
Wow, folks, we all know the story. 4 brave astronauts head up into space and come back forever changed.
This car?
Our city, our planet, owe a debt to these intrepid souls. And while we can never repay them, we can certainly celebrate them.
Thank you, Fantastic Four. Thank you.
Thank you, Fantastic Four!
Please welcome the Fantastic Four.
Herbie, how's that sauce looking? Okay. That is fantastic.
You're late.
What do you mean?
What do you mean? What do I mean? You're late for dinner.
Yes, we are.
You late?
I just said that.
Are you pregnant?
What? You're gonna be the best mom in the world. And you are gonna be the best dad. Just kidding. You are out of your depth. We are gonna be the best uncles ever.
We can do this. Nothing's going to change.
Are you the protectors of this world?
Yes, we are.
Your planet is now marked for death.
It's my fault. I stretched the bounds of space. And they hurt.
Are we safe?
I don't know.
There's not enough time.
I'm not giving up. We will face this together. We will fight it together. As a family. Has to be us.
We will protect you.
Hell
Okay.
yeah.
Sure. So we're gonna go back. This one we will be breaking and pausing between. Okay. If there's something you wanted to say, tell me to stop.
Yep.
So first thing can I say, our Flame. I hate his haircut in this movie. I hate how he looks in this movie.
Johnny Storm.
Mm-hmm. This scene is one of the scenes that bugs me the most.
Why?
First off, where's his fedora? Why is he in a
That's
baseball
not the
cap?
trench coat. That's not a trench coat.
But he pretty much always wears a fedora because
If he's in the trench coat, yeah.
well, because even with him just in his baseball cap of what he's wearing in this, his head doesn't look proportioned right now. It makes
What?
the head look weird. It makes the head look weird. He looks off the size.
All right, George.
I also just really, I said this before, it has not grown on me. I really hate this face sculpt.
For sure, Liam. Thanks for the heads up. See you next time.
See you next time. Thanks for hanging out.
It's supposed to look more like Kirby's design. So it's less rounded, less human, more monster-like. So like I can understand why you wouldn't like it. I personally like it though. I love this. Go back. Wow, too fast.
Hold on. Why do we have Sonic teeth?
Oh, you. Well, okay, two things. A, it's not fun, right? It's not finished. B, you're not meant to be pausing movies and critically analyzing them like that.
But no. Even when I'm watching in real time, the first time I watched it, that was something that pulled my eyes. And in a lot of other groups that I've seen people talking about, this is one of the frames that they've been sharing because this is what they've noticed when they first watched through, that it looks unsettling. It is very uncanny.
All right. Go back a little bit more to when he picks up the car.
When he picks up the car, okay.
Yeah, it's the wide shot of him with the car over his head. That one right there. It's a reference to Action Comics 1, which is the Superman 1, where he has like the green beetle over his head. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I don't think the way that they animated it, I don't think it translates well. And it's probably because of the way it's cut. We don't get to see the start of it.
Yeah,
But
I think that, and then like
it looks very clunky.
we're going back and forth on the same frame, where if we're seated in a theater, we're gonna see it for half a second. That's the thing that I get tripped up on about with like people that hyper analyze CGI is they're pausing it and looking at it comparatively to watching it in real time like you're supposed to.
No, yeah, and that's why I really didn't call it out the first time around. It wasn't until we were looking at that part. It looks clunky, and I think part of that is in the nicest way. I don't think Marvel's the greatest company at CGI.
They're not, because they outsource it all because there's too much work for them to do.
And I think they did way too much in this movie. There
I
are
agree.
scenes you have to do.
No, I agree. There are
Like-
some things that I'm going to point out later that help alleviate it, but there's a lot of CGI in this movie.
Yeah. This is all fine.
I like whenever they go into like in-universe footage,
Mhm.
they change the aspect ratio. I like that a lot. They do that here, and then earlier on at the beginning with the talk show, they're showing what I assume is like archival footage of the first flight. Because we know it's not an origin story. But it's the same aspect ratio, so it's assumed that it's shot on a camera in universe. I like that a lot.
It's not an origin story, just with an origin story name, which still bugs me.
Yeah.
And I will criticize that all the way through watching it. Because like when we go see this, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna kind of like when I go and finally sit down and watch Minecraft, I'm gonna watch it, and I'll have two separate reviews for it. And we'll do it all during our review. And my
What,
first
a fun review and a critical review?
No, a normie review and then a Marvel fan review, and with that being the critical review.
Okay.
Of me going in, and if I did not know anything of these characters, is this a good movie?
Okay. Okay.
If I feel like if I was a new person to it and I don't understand these characters, frankly enough, I probably wouldn't care to try to go and watch it again.
Yeah.
If I go in and I'm a normie and I think that they did a great job getting me like connected to these characters, then fine. That's going to automatically boost its score.
I'll be real with you, George. I'm going to take that Thursday off and I'm going to go opening night.
Okay, then just tell me what time we'll go.
I will be seated for Fantastic Four.
I still hate this shirt on him.
I go back and forth. Because like it's only really the movies where he doesn't have a shirt, because he gets a shirt a lot of the times in the comics. So it's not a big deal.
Okay. And I will defend it more in the comics, because in the comics it's a lot less you have to draw.
It's also, same point, easier to animate CGI wise.
No, because you already have the character model built. You have to build a separate model to put a shirt on him.
Okay.
Now, again, as I put it, Johnny Storm, I hate how he looks in this movie.
I think his haircut's a little lame. I agree. But I think Joseph Quinn has a really good frame for Johnny Storm. I'll put it that way, because he's like he's really light and narrow.
So Johnny Storm, at least in the comic versions I have read of him, you are right. He's supposed to be light and narrow, but he's also supposed to be quick and strong at the same time. He's not as strong as the Thing.
Well, obviously.
But he is supposed to be strong, so he is always more that heroic pose, where Reed is always more your straight pose. Because realistically, we get with the Fantastic Four and all the comics I've read of them, the look of the scales of like all versions of heroes. You get,
I get what you're saying.
And so he doesn't have a heroic pose. He legitimately looks like a nerd you found playing with a computer in the background, and you're hey, come do this.
Maybe a little.
Okay. See, and also, like, it just bugs me. And how tall is the Thing supposed to be? Because in universe, in the comics, the Thing is big.
It depends.
And his head in this shot, because of the way they have it padded out,
his head in this shot is way smaller than in other shots.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't stay consistent, and it bugs me so much. And that's not a cleanup thing, because I would have to change the entire model and redo the entire shot. That's more of a final product. The detail would be cleaning up how the lines look on his head, not the size of his head in the portion of the room. I do not like the Thing. I think also
there's a wider shot of this scene in the teaser, and if I remember right, Johnny and the Thing are further back than Reed and Sue. They're not standing side by side, and that might alleviate some of the issues that we're talking about here.
It could, but at least in the way that this looks, based on even the fact of when we see Johnny next to Reed and such later, this looks to be about the right height difference for them to be next to each other, or be at a slight arc.
There's a shot coming up really soon of them next to each other.
I still do not like Pedro Pascal in this role.
I love Pedro Pascal in anything, so
I think he's overused.
I mean, I can see why you think that,
because he's in like everything right now.
Yeah.
Why is he CGI?
Herbie?
Yes.
I don't think all of his shots are CGI.
He should be a practical shot.
Yeah. I don't think all of them are CGI.
Because there's nothing super hard about what he does and moves, at least in any shot that we get to see.
Like that, I think is practical.
Well, because even just like, let me go back. It jumped. Okay.
I think it's when he's doing complex movements.
Because like this whole scene here, this should be practical. Because
I shouldn't say
straightforward,
complex, like fast movements.
well, because again, all it would be is just he'd be on a track for the shot,
Mm-hmm.
and he'd come over and move. But instead, he's CGI, and it's clear compared to everything else in the room. He's CGI. He does not blend with the room.
I think you're nitpicking at this point, but yeah.
It bugs me because
But, like,
so-
he looks practical here.
no, see, to me, he still looks CGI. And I think that might be just because I, again, did CGI stuff for a while. So I know what I'm looking at when I see it. But legitimately, everything about him would be so easy to do as a practical effect. I think they should have. Because then, straightforward, when it comes to marketing, like right now, you could use him in marketing.
Yeah.
And if he hasn't made an appearance anywhere yet, that tells me he probably isn't a practical effect at all.
Yeah.
Going back to our talk of like his size and such, his head's the same size on this shot as was the other shot.
Yeah.
So no, his head is just too small.
Nitpicking.
I hate that haircut with a
Yeah,
passion.
I think his haircut's fucking ugly. The cereal box on the back of it, it's
Mhm.
like it has like an advertisement for like a Johnny Storm toy in it or something, right?
Mhm.
The artwork that they have though, or a Human Torch toy, the artwork that they have is a recreation of one of Kirby's designs, and specifically it's in like the closer up shot. You can see it has like the old lines through the body that Kirby would draw to show that he was on fire, and they don't really use that anymore.
I just think first off, the brand placement, which is clearly a sponsorship spot. This is clearly a sponsorship.
Yeah.
It's very blatant. And then it just keeps being blatant, especially for how he moves his hand to hold it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just like, come on now. You don't need to be that hard of blatant. Like, this is straightforward, a marketing sponsorship shot. Because you get straightforward the full name in the entire shot, no problem.
Yeah.
This is legitimately Sheldon holding up his bag of Doritos while he's eating it with the logo perfectly angled at the camera at all times. But that's just the Hollywood stuff. We also don't get, because we have a lot of different range of like emotional scenes happening in this trailer. We don't get a really emotion out of the thing's face.
Yeah.
They have so much room to play with, and they're just flat.
Yeah.
And that was something I excused when on our teaser one that we said maybe we'll see more out of it later, but we haven't.
No, there's a lot there, right there.
Not really. It's pretty much the same pose his face is usually in. I'm gonna grab that there, and we'll jump. Yeah, no, it's pretty much the exact same pose because he always has this little bit of a smile on. I mean, bad teeth is where we see the most emotion out of his face.
Yeah.
But like his brow doesn't seem to move. Like he's smiling more, and I think that's part of what's making the smile so offsetting. Is he's not smiling with his face; he's just smiling with his lips. A human smile, when we smile, our brows come up a little bit more, and he's just stuck. And that might be part of what's bugging me whenever I see this face. Besides the teeth are I hate the teeth. Where were we? We were in this set of scenes. Go. Your thoughts on Silver Surfette?
I'm sorry, what?
Your thoughts on the Silver Surfette, on how she looks?
The Silver Surfer? She looks fine.
I do not agree. I think the Silver Surfer we had back the first time we got Silver Surfer in the TV, in the movies, I think he looks so much better than this. And that was mostly done practical.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, he's wearing a suit majority of the scenes. It's when he's doing anything that would require CGI is when they switch to CGI.
No.
Let's see.
I mean, yeah, he has an actual suit, but like it's never shown like that in the film.
No, but it lets him. It's shot that way, so it still feels more natural. So that it's easier to blend it. So then, yes, they do use CGI to trace over his body, but it feels more natural and feels more real. She does not look good, in my opinion.
I think it's the eyes, honestly, and that's the only thing I don't like is that her eyes are silver as well instead of being like flat. Like,
so I do agree. I don't like the eyes. I also feel like the eyes are too far spaced.
That just might be the actress.
That might be the actress. But I feel like they've also given her too much shine. She is supposed to be shiny and reflective, but I think they've given her too much shine, which is then making the lines of the character harder to see.
Circle back to that because I think this could just be the setting because they're in Times Square.
Okay, and that is true because I think when we don't have her lit, which is a problem, I think she looks better.
Yeah.
But once we light her,
so like that looks fine to me, and that looks fine to me.
See, this is one of the things that I don't like because again, yes, we have a harsh light, but because of how we have her set to too much of a reflective surface, so it's too ethereal of like a look on her.
Okay.
And she's not an ethereal creature. She is a extraterrestrial.
Yeah.
But she should not look godlike. And I think that's what's bugging me about her. Let's see. Galactus bugs me also.
All right.
We're going to get to it. But like, okay. So like this scene.
She's a different reflective, isn't she? She's more matte there, right?
Yes, and she looks better.
Yeah.
Like this scene I'm happy with. Like, because she doesn't... The way she was earlier, if she was that same way, she would be completely blown out half the body.
Yeah.
Like they made her more matte, which makes her blend to the scene better. This I know is a tribute to the comics. I'm just wondering how shallow is this water and why is he pulling the ship up onto shallow water? And where does
I
this
assume it's a very sheer and the way that well, what is it called? Where something's like way further than it actually is, and it looks bigger on screen.
force perspective?
Yeah, I think it's force perspective. It depends on the establishing shot.
Yeah.
Because we're giving this one, and that's really it.
Yeah.
Also, he's shirtless there. You're welcome.
Well, no. Again, did I criticize the character model in this one? Legitimately, all of his portions look correct.
Yeah, he looks good there.
You also are getting a little bit of emotion in it. He looks like he's struggling. He looks a little bit more irritated.
Yep.
This is a good looking model here. Too bad we only get 2 seconds of, not even 2 seconds of it in the trailer. I am surprised we get barely any lines from Pedro Pascal in this trailer.
Yeah, but the one line he delivers, oh my God.
I hate this. With a
What, do you want him to actually stretch out there?
Well, no, but it. So again, going back to when I watched it first, the first time live. Okay. As soon as I saw this made me think of what somebody in my college class at a community college could do. This looks horrible.
What is it supposed to look like?
It's supposed to look like he's stretching, but it doesn't look real. It doesn't feel real.
Because it's not.
Well, no, but do you get at all where I'm coming from?
Sort of. I just think your claims are like outlandish.
He doesn't. So his body formations for how his body has been shown throughout the entire trailer, in order to make him stretch the way he's supposed to be stretching in this, are being shifted. And I think that's why we only get it for a quick second, is because they're trying not to show it too well.
Yeah, that's not out of the norm for Reed.
I don't know. I hate how it looks. To me, it's so off-putting. Again, that could just be me being me. I have not seen anybody besides you say it looks good.
I'm not saying it looks good. I think it looks fine. It looks passable.
Because that is one of the things that a lot of people have. So, again, my biggest problem with anybody ever doing any of the Fantastic Fours as a live action and not an animation, it does not translate.
It's always Reed. Reed
It's
is always
Reed, and Reed always kills the way it looks.
Yep.
And the fact we get it here and we can see it already isn't looking good. Again, they could still clean up some of the CGI. That is true. But it does not give me good confidence in how he will look elsewhere in the movie. Everybody else, I can give leeway to. The Thing doesn't look good, but he looks fine enough to work. If we can't get Reed to look good, who is, Mr. Fantastic, he is the main one, there's a problem. And straightforward, my opinion is, what they should have done, even if they did not make a model based on Pedro Pascal Ford, maybe they just used somebody from Marvel Studios, they should have done a whole series of test shots in CGI space to see if they can make it look real.
Yeah.
And I think this shows me that, yes, they tried, but they missed. You say it's passable. Fine. I will meet you halfway. I will call it passable. But it does not mean that when I watch it, if I see it like this, I'm going to go ahead and say it looks good.
I'm not blown away by it, but I'm not disappointed.
Like Harrison Ford as Red Hulk, I think looks better than this.
Yeah.
And that was still a character model that you and I both agreed did not necessarily look the greatest, but it worked.
Yes.
I know this is just the way they have the lighting set. He looks sick in this shot.
It's just the lighting. It's just
It's
the
the
lighting.
lighting on his cheek, but he looks like he's ill.
Also, yeah.
Like I every time I see this, I'm like, legitimately, are you like on your deathbed or something? Like, what is wrong with you at the moment? Like that, I don't dock anything from it because that is just bad lighting placement, and it's supposed to be an older show, so fine, maybe lighting placement. That was the aesthetic, but at the same time, I look at that and go, how did the director who's monitoring this on a monitor not look at this and go, maybe we should fix lighting a little bit before we take the shot? Like, same time, it could also be the color filter they're putting on over the shot. Okay. So, where's our first hint of Galactus? It is
stretch.
in right there.
Oh, right there. Okay.
So we get an idea of his scaling, yeah? What?
You said the magic words.
What?
You said the magic words.
The scale?
Yep.
Can Galactus change? I've never really read the Galactus series.
Yes.
Okay. Then my only other criticism, if that's the case, which I did not know, so I will back off that. This walking animation they have for him, his legs are either incredibly squeezed together to make sure he can walk through this street without destroying the buildings, or it's the wrong scale on his legs.
This is a practical set.
Is it?
It's a practical set. Look at the way the lamp rattles specifically.
I don't know about that, Chief.
I think it's a practical set. Like an old Godzilla movie. Like, obviously they're adding in more shake and digital, like with the cone and like the pavement coming up and stuff, right? But like, I think this is shot on a practical set.
I can tell you it's not. Okay, you see this frame?
Uh-huh.
Pull your attention right here, okay?
Yep. Again, I said that they're adding stuff in post.
Okay, even if it is the way
Like,
this shot,
I'm saying the actor is physically
No.
walking between
and
the
I
buildings.
and I get what you're saying, and if that is the case, then I don't think they set their street correctly, or they built their physical street correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, look at his stance and his stride and the way he's walking. Legitimately,
I agree with that take. It looks awkward because of how close his legs have to be together. Yeah.
So let's just go with your theory, which it may be true. You may be correct. I will concede on that, and let's call this a practical set. That tells me that this building here and its platform it's on is on a separate platform, more foreground, and it makes it look like he's walking too close together because his straightforward, his foot is the size of the street in this shot.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, he's still able to walk the entire street without knocking it. It bugs me. And that if it is practical, then cool. I always give credit to more practical shots than CGI shots. And yes, a shot like this in practical would be harder to redo. So I have to give some credit there. But then maybe don't put it at the end of your trailer. Because this is
the hype for Galactus without showing Galactus again.
But all honesty, I think this one shot.
You think that's enough? But like, I feel like we've seen that so much that they have to give us a little more.
But see, to me at least, with seeing everything over and over again and how we have, this shot made me excited. I saw this shot, I'm like, beautiful. Like, this is giving me the hope. We kind of now know how the
helmet.
Yeah, the crown structure. I can't remember the actual terminology. It'll come back to me. But we can see kind of how the framing's going, so it gets us already kind of thinking how this character's going to look compared to the comics. Like, this is a great shot and setup for me. And then we get to here, and it looks awkward, and like I could maybe guess he's wearing purple, but at the same time, it looks like he's just wearing black pants.
I think that's just the lighting,
and I think it is. But again, it kind of just. So one of the podcasts that I do watch regularly, and yes, they are a little bit more critical, but they even went ahead and they talked about that whole set of scene, and that even they've said that this is awkward framing it is, and it doesn't translate well because again the scale size. And then for fun, they went back and they replayed it, but they put the Godzilla, screech behind it because
hell yeah,
I should not be watching a Marvel film and thinking that this looks like a shot from Godzilla.
I hope it is. I want that so bad.
Then their budgets are off by like 200 million because
oh yeah.
Out of 5, without you being fanboy, with you being critical of the trailer, out of 5, where does it put you?
Probably like
a 3.
See, like a 3.
See, and I will agree with that.
And then for my fanboy, I give 2 scores, 4, and then a 5. Because holding up the 4 for Fantastic Four.
So, for a critical review of it, I'm in the middle of the row. I do agree with you. It's a 3. Like, there's some shots in there I'm like, this looks good. This looks like it could be something good. But there's so many shots to me that I'm just like, I don't know. We should not be having Sonic teeth in the year 2025. It like
I don't know, man.
What?
I don't know, man.
But as a fan, I think even as a fan, I'm still at a 3.
Hold on. There's something I haven't touched on yet. Pull it back with audio.
Go back with audio?
Audio.
Are we going to get demonetized by doing audio twice with it?
No. Just a quick second. Go to 225.
Oh, is that the Fantastic theme?
Yeah. It's specifically okay, let me break down the sequence of events for you. I woke up the morning that this dropped, saw on Twitter that it dropped. I went, well, shit, I got to get up now. Got up, sat down, put on my headphones for this, and I watched it on my TV. And Pedro Pascal hits me with this, bro.
We will protect you.
And then Michael Giacchino gut punches me with that, bro.
Okay, so I will agree. The theme is good. The theme is strong. The theme got me.
Michael Giacchino never misses, George. Never misses.
As a Marvel fanboy, I probably give the trailer. I think I still give it a 3. There's enough for me to go, it might be good, but not enough to be like Lilo and Stitch's first trailer that I'm like, we've won. I know you're out of 5 because you're just stupid hyped for it, and
I'm stupid hyped for this movie.
And
I have been for the past year too.
Well, but I think what it is, I think you and I are on the opposite ends of the Marvel fatigue at the moment, where you're just like riding the high and you're excited for it, where I'm so exhausted of Marvel at the moment that I need something to boost me. Like, straightforward, a trailer we're going to talk about later has me more hyped, which is bizarro to say.
Really?
Seriously.
Is this the one we're about to talk about?
We're not about to, but we will be talking about.
Wow.
Yeah.
From you?
Correct.
Wow. Okay.
Again, I try to be honest and fair with every review I do. I know you always say that I'm being too critical, but I try to be fair with them because I'm trying to be a honest reviewer about it. Again,
because like they're going for like cinema files with the marketing on that. Okay.
But again,
Up off, George.
as I put it, and every time we talk about anything review wise, our integrity is much more important than a cupcake. If you know, you know. Am I wrong?
No.
Exactly. Going back to Disney Parks blog, we're gonna touch back into Star Wars.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I know. There's a new Savi's Workshop lightsaber offering. We just built one. It's back there in the frame. But now there's a new one. So choose your path. Savi's Workshop hand-built lightsabers will soon debut a brand new hilt theme called Reclaimed and Reforged at Walt Disney World Resort and the Disneyland Resort. For a limited time offering, will be available at Planet Batu starting May 4th, 2025. I guess we'll build their own lightsaber from scraps that they have been scavenged from different pirates throughout the galaxy. Yeah. We don't really need to go through all this. So the original 4 are still going to be there. Plus, this is the new design. It exists.
Yep.
What is your thought?
It's ugly.
It's ugly.
Is it one emitter? No, it's two
No.
emitters. I think the emitter they show is ugly. Oh, the other pieces are there on the stand. I see.
Yeah. So this is one of them fully built.
Yeah, I think that emitter is ugly.
And then this
That
is the
emitter looks way better. I still would never build this in my life, but I mean it's fine. I like the trigger on the first one though.
I think so. What does it make you think of? Because again, all these sets we currently have are all.
It looks like an engine, and it's not based on Rey like you think it does. Like you texted me originally. It's not based on Rey's at all.
No, it's not. I was just pulling it up to try to compare.
It literally looks like an engine to me.
Okay, I know this is the cheaper one, but let me pull back over here. Like, yes, this one looks like an engine, but looking at these parts, more so.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna share it to this. I think the design aspects are. No, you don't think so?
I don't see it.
Because like you can see the on the hilt side, on the emitter side, the more burning metal as the peaks.
No, I don't see it.
All right. Then I really don't know what they were trying to go for with this. That was the only thing I could have guessed.
I think they're going for like a salvage type. A salvage type saber.
Like on this,
which I think
on this
is
one,
ugly.
straightforward. What I don't understand, why is somebody using a blaster barrel for their emitter?
Because it's funny, but it's also ugly. So nothing else really new.
Not in that for the rest of that. But keeping along with Disney Parks blog for Star Wars stuff, The Mandalorian, Grogu, and new crew controls are coming to Smuggler's Run. We have talked about this before, but we got more details at the Star Wars event. So Bright Suns, yes. This was continuing, but we have new concept art. Are you not going to let me load, you bigger? No? That's wonderful. Thank you. I appreciate that. So that's Coruscant.
Dude.
If we get an actual...
If they're able to pull this off in the engine they use, which are they on UE4 or are they on UE5? I know.
Okay.
No. They're not on Unreal yet. They're switching to Unreal, right?
No. The ride was built on either UE3 or UE4.
Ugh.
However, part of the partnership is how I'm going to word that with Epic was early access to UE5 and 6. And the idea was the ride was going to be switching to it, either one or the other. Yeah. So that's what these are. Yes, there's a concept art, but these are being built in the new engine, and then they'll import all the new game files into the ride when they're ready to start. And that's probably how they're testing it. They're probably coming in at night with whatever one they have like mocked up and loading it in, and then just switching back to software in the morning.
Yeah.
But this, like, if we can get a real scene of Coruscant,
if they can pull this off in ride, I'm for it. Or like, oh my god, dude.
I'm just trying to figure out what else is going on in this scene. Like, obviously, these are X-Wings. That's a transport.
Yeah.
The TIE fighters, and that's a transport.
I think you're chasing a transport across wherever planet you're going to.
Yeah, because this is Bespin.
Because it's a choose your own adventure, sort of.
Is it a choose your own, or is it going to be a rotational? I think it's going to be rotational.
I hope it's choose your own. But you're going with the Razor's Edge, which means it takes place during season 1.
Sure, maybe.
Maybe, who knows?
At this point, I think Disney has gone ahead and conceded that the land does not need to take place.
But it has the new satellite dish.
Like I said, I think Disney has conceded that at this point, the land does not have to take place in this particular time period anymore. We're just going to start to incorporate everything. And I think that's why we're getting young Luke Skywalker at the moment. Yes, it is a seasonal, but I think this is the opening of us starting to get more of a just range inside the land, which gives them more characters they can throw in there also, because they can just different times of the day be portraying a different period.
I mean, they could have also pulled more characters from the sequel era, but they didn't want to.
But dude, if we could get clone troopers,
I don't care.
What?
I don't care.
Forget you. Nobody cares what you think, anyways.
Right.
So this is Bespin still.
Dude. Please.
Okay. Star Tours. How much longer is Star Tours going to exist?
I don't know, man.
Why do we have a lower version of the same ride on the opposite side of our park? And even in Hollywood Studios, they're both in the same park. This is what I'm hyped for.
Dude.
Why Mando's randomly flying around in space?
He's doing a spacewalk. Who knows?
Who knows? What ship is this?
Is it Hondo's?
No.
Hold on.
Do we know what Hondo's ship looks like?
Yeah, because it's in the ride now.
Oh, well, no, but that's not, I believe, his ship. I think that's just a ship.
No, he's in that ship.
Well, yes, I get he is in the ship. I don't believe that is his personal ship. Yeah, because the Katuni is this is a different ship than what's in the attraction. It's not the Katuni.
No.
So then whose ship is that? That's interesting. I missed that when I went ahead and flipped through these earlier. Huh. Because there's also 2 little scouter ships.
Yeah.
Even though that's a different ship. That's a first order transport.
Yeah.
Like that's an Imperial, but that's a first order.
Yeah.
I'm all over the place.
I'm for it. Dude, if they can pull this off, man.
So starting May 22nd, 2026. Why we're still getting so much concept art and all that for this, I'm not entirely sure, but we will get to allow guests to control the iconic ship like never before. For the first time ever, crew will be in control of their own destination. So it sounds like you are right. It should be more choose your own. leading to potential adventures on Bespin, the wreckage of a second Death Star around Endor, or the just announced blustering city planet of Coruscant. Another new gameplay addition allows the engineer position to communicate with Grogu.
Woo!
You know they're going to now make that into a big story element of the attraction, right?
Yep.
Are you going to give up your pilot position to go ahead and go communicate with
No.
Grogu, Justin? No.
Oh, it is going to be in UE5.
Oh yeah, there it is.
Let's go.
So we're excited about these updates to debut on the same day as Lucasfilm's upcoming title, The Mandalorian and Grogu. However, the attraction storyline will follow a different path. In this new thrilling storyline, Hondo Ohnaka has gotten wind of a deal going down on Tatooine between ex-Imperial officers and a band of pirates. There's a generous bounty for their capture, so you'll borrow the iconic ship and team up with Mando and Grogu to track them down and explore the galaxy. None of this would be possible without our partnership with Industrial Light and Magic. With their help, you are in control of your own destiny on the attraction. This technology is all built in Unreal Engine 5 by Epic Games, which are the same tools ILM uses on the Disney Plus show, The Mandalorian.
I didn't know they used UE5 for that.
Yep.
Pop off.
To finish off our panel, the event popular BDX droids made a pit stop. They're now at Tokyo Disney. Because we have nothing else to show besides the same droids that we've shown for months now.
Yep.
Even longer than that. It's been like a year, hasn't it?
Yep. Because I think they were for last May the 4th.
I think so. All right. Trailer number 2.
Yeah!
The
I'm so
final
excited for this
trailer
movie.
for the Thunderbolts.
I'm so excited for this movie.
We'll see. We will, again, like usual, we'll watch it through. You'll be able to see our facial reactions to it throughout it. Then we'll go back, we'll mute it, and we'll slow it down and we'll talk about it. Yep.
Lena, being a hero, there is no higher calling. Your sister understood something about that.
I should have come back for you.
No. That's just a fairy tale. I was in high school when the Avengers came. Kind of strange that it's all over now. No one's coming to save the day.
I think we are. We can be the ones that are coming.
But you have the wrong people. We have all done bad things.
Look, I've been where you are. The past doesn't go away. So you can either live with it forever, or you can do something about it. I am a void. Look what you unleashed. You can't outrun the emptiness.
We can't do this. No one here is a hero.
We all have things that we regret.
But I have so many.
Lena, when I look at you, I don't see your mistakes. That's why we need each other.
We can't stop him alone. No one can. But we can find a way. Together.
Marvel Studios Thunderbolts.
Under pressure.
Okay. First off, can I say, for, again, a trailer, a big deal of it is trying to make good impact real fast. Perfect song choice band for this trailer. I think that's one thing that kills the Fantastic Four trailer for me some is, yes, we get the big hype of the Fantastic theme, but the whole other rest of the trailer just doesn't feel like anything's happening or anything's moving. Where the song Under Pressure by Queen being a different version of it and being slower, you can still feel the momentum carrying you through it. And it feels more emotional and helping tell emotion through the trailer. Like it tells me kind of that how the characters are probably feeling in a lot of these shots we're getting of them.
Yeah.
Like that's good storytelling. Also, I want to go to a scene. Right. Oop, YouTube. Yeah. There we go. Sorry, I was lining it up. I love this scene. And this scene's done practically.
Yes, it is.
Which is amazing. Like a couple years ago, they would not shoot this practically.
Yeah. I think it's her. I don't think it's her stunt double. I think it's her doing it.
It is. Because I actually saw the interview with her about it. And as she put it, she loves heights and she loves like skydiving and such. And so because they're on the tallest building in the world in Dubai.
The second tallest building.
Is it the second tallest?
Yeah, they're on the second tallest.
Okay. But they're up there and she put it straightforward. She like the scene right here. She said she was just relaxed sitting here. Like they have her in a safety harness because Disney would not let her sit on the edge of this building without a safety harness. But she's just legitimately sitting there. She said she was so calm sitting there and just enjoyed it. And this is straightforward her. Like they showed it several times of her doing this. This is where we switched to a stunt double as for the actual dive. But like straightforward from everything we saw in the last trailer we watched, this one scene here, because it is real and practical, looks better than every one of those other shots. Even though, yes, we know that there's a lot of digital editing to take out all the safety rigs, it feels real because it is real. Sorry, we'll go back. We'll go back and do this like we normally do from the front. But I didn't realize in any trailer till this one seems like we're actually focusing more on Yelena than the rest of the trailers led it up to be.
I believe from stuff I've heard tonight that she's like basically the main character of this film.
And that's what this trailer makes it out to be.
Yeah.
And if so, I'm more okay with that than when we were looking like in all the other trailers that everybody was like an equal part of it. Because that is something
it's still a team film, obviously.
Yes.
I would think more of it like a Captain America Civil War than a Avengers.
Well, so yes. So like where I was getting was the one thing that the Suicide Squad movies do, in my opinion, very well is they are team-based movies, but we focus more from Harley point of view, which makes it easier to tell the story.
Maybe in that first one, but
the first one. I never watched the second one.
The first one's
I heard
bad.
it was bad.
The second one's really good.
What?
Yeah.
I like the first one.
Oh, okay.
I guess I'll have to watch the second one, but to me, I always heard everybody complain about the second one.
Sure.
The only thing I heard everybody really agree on, and I will have to agree, was the Joker is like horrible in the first one.
Yeah.
Like we did not need that version of the Joker. We don't need the Joker. The Joker shouldn't be in the movie.
Yeah.
Oop. No. Go back. Thank you. Okay. I recognize him. I don't recognize him. Who is he?
Bob.
The villain?
Maybe. I'm not going to say.
Why not?
Because he's original to this film.
Oh, is he?
Yes.
Okay.
He's the only main character that is original to this film. And if they're adapting what I hope they're adapting, it'll make sense why.
Got it. Yeah, because or maybe it's his ability or something. It looks familiar. I just can't piece it. No? Maybe there's a DC equivalent.
Maybe.
I will. I know we're going back to this again.
That's okay. I love looking at him.
This is the Sandman from the DreamWorks.
Sure.
Well, no, but like, do you know what film we're talking about?
Sure. Yeah.
The one with the Easter Bunny, the
Yeah.
Santa Claus, and such. To me, the little bit we get of them, I know this is a lot of this is probably edited also because of the trailer to help keep it a suspense. But the way he looks in this one shot makes me think the Sandman from that.
I think it's the way it's shot.
You think so?
Because without getting too much into spoilers, that's how he looks in the comics.
So then he is in the comics.
Yeah.
You just told me he wasn't.
No, as in like this is his first appearance in the MCU, is what I'm saying.
Well, yes, I realize that.
I'm not going to tell you who it is because if I tell you who it is, it's going to spoil the movie.
But no. But hold on. Just going back to what I was saying.
I thought you meant you recognized him from an earlier MCU film.
No, I remember him from a comic. I can't remember which comic it was.
I'm not going to tell you that then. Are you okay?
It depends on wherever I'm clicking. Depends on whatever is active. I think one thing also that it's helping this film is most of these shots we're seeing are practical and not CGI. And I think that's really what's helping this compared to
I think this film is going to be pretty low budget.
We should at this point have the budget, shouldn't we?
Maybe.
Thunderbolts budget. Thunderbolts movie is rumored to have a budget around $200 million. Additionally, it's estimated the marketing and the promotion cost could range from $100 to $150 million. Normally, it is about half. This means the film would need to earn a substantial amount at the box office break even, potentially reaching 700 and 750. I wouldn't go 750, but I would go 6.
Your calculator would say 6.
Yeah.
That's pretty low for a Marvel film nowadays.
Yes. However, I will say this at this point. I think we need to get back to the days where like $100 million on a non-Avengers movie is a big budget.
Yeah.
I think
Sinners. I'm gonna keep talking about Sinners until I see it. It was a $90 million budget.
Okay. Yeah, because I think that's what really is hurting the MCU at the moment is they keep trying. Like Agatha all along was one that they talked about how huge the budget was for it and how amazing it was going to be because of the big budget, and then it flopped. It should not be the names of the movie in the movie. It should not be the budget of the movie or the marketing materials. It should be, it's a good movie. You should see it. Because then also, if the movie doesn't do as well, also known as Snow White, it can still break even. Because it's not Snow White. And it did not totally flop. Because it still has not gotten back to at least even or close to it. I love that shot so much. I think that's also one thing about this is there's so many good cinematic setup shots on this. This feels like you brought like people who actually understood film theory and film setup and had them do these shots.
because they did.
Well, but they were doing that for other films recently too, and they did not look good. What?
I'm looking it up.
Oh, who the film director is?
Yeah.
Why'd you jump so far? You shouldn't be jumping like that. Because, like, okay. I'm going to pull your attention back.
Yep.
This scene, yes, we know this is CGI.
Yeah.
Obviously, he did not block a car with his arm. This looks believable. Like how his body gets moved back, everything shifts. It feels like that's an actual real shot, opposed to Captain America, where they were already taking the hits before the fist came close.
Yeah.
I love this shot also. Like that's such a good creepy shot for your villain. If he's the main villain. I don't know about this one.
I refuse to.
I know. I'm just saying.
Oh.
What?
Hold on, let me dig a little deeper.
This is one shot that could like it makes me curious though.
I have an idea of what it is.
I have an idea also. If you want to elaborate.
My idea requires me to spoil some stuff.
And I think you and I are on the same page then. Just also based on how the music is setting things up and based on one of the scenes we get later on. And yeah. What?
The cinematographer did like one of the horror films I'm a big fan of. He was also director of photography on Moon Knight, 2 episodes of that. The second and the fourth. And then
what horror film?
VHS.
Okay.
And then a lot of shorts, actually.
So still fairly new then.
Yeah. Like he's been doing stuff since 2009, but he didn't really get big until he didn't do a film until 2014. But like he didn't really do anything big until The Green Knight, I'd argue.
Okay. Your thoughts on the trailer?
Taskmaster is not making it past Act 1.
Yes.
What's even funnier is that the actress wasn't at the red carpet tonight. I think they wrote her out.
Yeah, at that point, I think you're right. Non-fanboy first out of 5.
Dude, this is a 4 non-fanboy.
I think non-fanboy. Okay, can I side tangent for a second just to go ahead and explain this? As you know, I've made this pretty solidly clear. I have not been hyped at all about this movie. I did not care going into this week. I did not care about this movie. I had I was going to see it. I had no intention to see it besides the fact that we were going to go review it. I have to give non-fanboy a 5.
Wow.
This trailer actually made me go, you know what? This actually might be a good movie. This looks fun. This makes me think Captain America: First Avenger trailer. The hype that built for me. That I'm watching this, I'm like, you know what? This is going to be a good movie. I hope it's a good movie. Again, I want to go enjoy the movies, but this is non-fanboy. This is a 5. Fanboy obviously must be a 5 if it's non-fanboy is a 5. But
I mean, okay. Honestly, I don't really care about these characters fanboy wise. So it's a 4.
well, but
I'm
again,
watching this.
Fanboy wise, you could be just a fanboy of Marvel.
Okay, then I'll give it a 5 for Bob. I'll give it a 5 for Bob.
Okay.
Because I'm excited. I'm excited to see how they're going to adapt Bob because it's a really touchy character.
No, what are you talking about? The Red Star is not a touchy character.
What? Who's the Red Star?
Isn't that what his name is in the original Captain America comics with him?
I don't know who you're talking about.
You're talking about the Russian.
No, that's Red Guardian.
Red Guardian. Sorry,
I care about Red Guardian, but no, Bob is our antagonist.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
So, I'm excited to see how they adapt that character.
Yeah. Do you recommend a comic for me to go back to remind myself of which character this is?
No, because it's gonna spoil it. I will show you the comic after we watch the movie.
It bugs me though because I recognize the design, and I'm trying to remember, but it's been a long time since I've spent time in the comics.
Don't look anything up.
I would never.
Don't look anything up.
The problem is I don't even know necessarily how I would need to. It's not that one. Yeah, I don't even know how I would even start to.
And like the other thing is that like these trailers have only shown us like 5 minutes from the film. There's still so much of the film that we don't know. And that doesn't happen nowadays with trailers. That's another thing that's getting me hyped.
This one is doing a very good job of like what a trailer's supposed to. Just give you enough to get you curious. Like the trailers before this, it was like, if you're a Marvel fan, you're going to like this. If not, we don't necessarily care. This trailer is like, okay, if you know what, if you like a good movie, here's just enough to get you interested, and then we're going to back off of it.
And the other thing, they haven't said his hero name yet.
It's not.
Send it in my private chat who you think it is.
Like I could be fully off, but for whatever reason, this is what I'm starting to think.
No.
I've never really paid too much attention to his abilities, so I can't remember what he does.
Well, it would be Cloak, not Dagger.
Well, but isn't it in one of the series where they are separate at first and then they come joined?
No, they've always since conception been together.
Okay,
but no, it is not Cloak. I will give you a hint. This character is not in Marvel Rivals.
Well, I assume not, but then I saw one of the concept arts for Dagger from one of the old comics, and it looked similar to that. So that's why I'm like, no, it can't be. But
it's not Cloak.
Really? Really?
No. Don't look any further, George. Don't look any further, please.
I'm just trying to piece that together now.
Don't look any further, please.
Where's our image? Okay, now I'm confused.
Oh, if you're gonna say what you think you're gonna say, I hope so.
What?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, because now I'm tiptoeing, so I'm trying not to say anything that would be.
Well, because like, if you're surprised about why he looks like that, that tells me you know nothing about the character, and it should stay that way.
It's been a long time since I've seen anything about the character.
Good.
Okay.
It should stay that way.
Like, we're talking 2005, maybe 6. What?
He debuted in 2001.
No. I get this.
Oh, okay.
The last time I saw something about it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say.
No, this is a deep pull from them, and I'm okay with that because it looks like they're adapting it well, and it plays into it, and that's all I'm going to say.
And that's why I'm confused, because it's such a weird character. But yeah, I mean, it's a dark character. And yeah, okay, these are the parts I remember. Yes, I looked it up. I'm sorry. But like, there's nothing here I've been. Oh, how do you? Now that now I've looked enough up that now I remember the character, and I'm like, I get where you're coming from. That this is kind of a very
you get why I've been so high on this film.
That's a weird line they've got to tiptoe around.
Yes,
this is a hard character to do. Why this?
Yes.
Character?
Right? But if they do it right, it's gonna be so good.
I will say this as from normie version. Okay, I'm stepping back. This villain in these trailers would make me curious of what's going on. I would have not a single clue in the world of what this guy's ability is or who he is.
Yes. All I can say, without spoiling anything else, is that he has the ability to manipulate molecules.
Yes, and I again, now that I know who it is, and I did a quick little 2-second refresher real fast of who he is. The trailer makes sense.
And they're hiding him a lot.
They really are. Because it doesn't... Well, I guess it depends... If we're doing more of a early origin of him, it makes sense why he's dressed the way he's dressed.
Yes.
Okay, so 2001 is his comic.
Yes.
Is that the series I remember him from then? Hold on.
Avengers?
It wasn't Avengers.
Oh, he was on Avengers.
Yeah, no, he wasn't one of those ones. I never really read the Avengers series, but I believe, if I remember right,
I think it was like he was in the 2005 run or something like that.
Which there's too many freaking runs of this. I believe in the Civil War series I read. I believe he's a big part of it.
I don't know, actually.
Like he's not a main part, but he is a big part of like one of the specific books. Because these are the covers, but I need the synopsis of the different books. We got way off topic with this one, but now I'm down a rabbit hole that I need to finish digging it through.
Here, I'm gonna just send you this paragraph.
Yeah.
Oh, I almost put it in the main chat.
Well, I mean, that would have started a conversation.
Oh, it didn't send everything.
Yes.
Oh, is there,
okay.
There's
So no, that first line starts it. So yes, that's the series where I really remember him, because I remember starting to read about him. I'm like, wait, who is this person? And then I looked up. Like,
oh.
Yes.
Okay.
That's why I recognize him, because it was okay. Because this does not do spoilers. Of course, Civil War happened, and the comics do it so much better than the movie did. 1,000 times better than the movie did.
Yeah.
Well, there's several different Civil Wars, but this was the 2006 was the first issue. 2006 run. It went from 6 to was 712. 7 is no. They all count.
2006 2007.
So there it is. Because the comics finished in 06, but the mega book was 07 is what it was.
Yeah. Yes. The
that to me is one of the best Civil War runs that they did, and he is a big part of that. He is one of the first siders in that one, and so it was that series I started reading, because all those characters were very much well-established characters in the canonicity of Marvel. And we get this character on, and I legitimately stopped when I got to him. I'm like, who are you? Why do I care?
Did you read the 2001 run after that?
I stopped reading the book. I went to Comic Quest. I went and found his book. I went home and read his first book to figure out who this character was, to then go back and continue my book. Because I was like, who in the world are you? Why do I care about you? That's a deep pull. That's a weird pull.
Yeah. I'm okay with it.
That's a Doomsday pull.
Yep.
He lines up for Doomsday.
Yes, he does.
Okay.
Moving on, because we've
because we sat on that one for way longer than I expected. Going over to Pirates and Princesses, one of the only topics we have that's not connected to a main studio's website. Lilo and Stitch is estimated to do over 100 million at domestic box office opening. That's insane. So, Lilo and Stitch will likely bring in more money in the domestic opening weekend than Snow White made in the entire domestic total. Real quick. I've stopped paying attention, so I can't give the numbers off the back of my head. Back of my hand. I'm sorry. Are you done? I think she's been pulled from theaters because it's now listed as the full release. According to the numbers, it's listed as the full release.
Wow.
84 million domestic, 109 international.
Ouch.
Yeah. Even if we go with their initial original budget that they were talking about, she still didn't break even. So let's go real quick. Continuous drop week after week. That's horrible. April 21st, which was yesterday, still at 1,600 theaters. So I don't know why they're giving us the totals unless they fully dropped off now. But at this point, there's no way to catch up. So it's gone. According to Quorum, sure. The data shows that Lilo and Stitch will open to over 100 million domestically. It is important to note that it will open on Memorial Day weekend and will have a longer span as a 4-day weekend. but the low end estimates it making more than Snow White, which hasn't even made 100 million domestically. This estimate is before the massive adjustments in campaign. The massive advertising campaign has even launched. So, I know we've talked about it. Where domestically does it open up at?
I think 100 billion is feasible.
No, I think it's very feasible. But is it like 110? Where do you think?
I'm gonna play it safe. I'm gonna go with 80.
Oh, you're gonna come down.
Yeah, I'm gonna play it safe.
Let me do one little look real quick. I think it's still too early. Lilo and Stitch. Yeah, it's too early. There's no pre-numbers. I think straightforward when we're looking at things like the Minecraft movie. Okay, there's my justice to it. I think it's going to come in 120 to 135 because that gives it over a 3-day weekend, 30 million a day.
Yeah,
or 4-day weekend of 30 million a day. We know pre-sales are going to be high on this movie. And we know it's going to do well. And Memorial Day weekend is a fantastic weekend for it. We know Dragon was pushed back a week. So it's not even having a competitor except for Minecraft.
Mission Impossible is a competitor.
Yeah.
It's not a direct competitor like Minecraft is. But I feel like Minecraft's run is over, isn't it?
Pretty much. All right, you're gonna chat for a few minutes. I need to take a quick run.
Let me pull up. Minecraft. Oh, let's see. Oh my gosh, hi! Wow. I believe we've ran its course. 349 domestic, which that's pretty good. It's kind of underperforming, actually. Not really. It's expected. This is domestic wise though. Let's see. Oh no, it's still making 5 million a day. That's nothing to scoff at. 4 weeks in? So it's the number 2 movie right now because of Sinners. So, but it held number 1 for, what was that, 2 weeks? I think, are theaters stopping to play it? No, actually, only about 200. It is the top grossing film of this year. Still. It's the second most all time video games. Wow, that's surprising actually. Number 8 for Warner Brothers. It's in the top 100. That's so funny. All right. Non-sequel to 29. What are these other films that are non-sequel? I would not count Avengers. I would not count Rogue One. I would not count Captain Marvel. I would not count Lion King. Where's that one? Right there. I would not count the Batman. That's Spider-Man's okay. Welcome back.
Where we at?
I was just looking at some Minecraft numbers. But yeah, it's ran its course, I'd say. But like not by much. We're still earning some, but like again, this comes out like a month from now. So Minecraft's gonna be gone, in my opinion. Yeah. Because like what else do we have releasing?
The thing is, I don't think we really have a competitor releasing in the period either. I think Lilo and Stitch is going up against itself.
Release schedule. Here we go. On the 25th, we have The Accountant 2 and Until Dawn releasing.
Both of which are not going to compete with it.
No, they're not competitors. And then Thunderbolts, maybe.
Thunderbolts will pull some, but it's coming out early enough. I don't think it's going to compete because Thunderbolts will already have used most of its audience market by the point that it comes out.
Nothing
Final
here.
So Final
Nothing
Destination
here.
comes out a week before it.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Final.
Its main competitor isn't really until How to Train Your Dragon. 3 weeks after.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So they're gonna hold Family for 3 weeks here.
Yeah.
Okay.
So looking at just that weekend, yes, Mission Impossible's out, but I would not put Mission Impossible into the family atmosphere. Yes, families will go see it, but that is not a family movie. Where Lilo and Stitch is, I think it could easily do. Again, I'm going to be low on it. I'm going to give it over its 4-day weekend of $30 million today. Because even Minecraft, when you had those numbers, and I can pull it also.
I got it here.
How were its first 4 days or first 3 days? Because this would be a weekend.
140.
So 57, 59, 46.
Oh, right here. 162. We're stupid.
No. Yeah. But I was looking at the individual days. So 57, 59, 46, which averages out to just over 50 million. Meaning I'm probably low if it does.
You might be low. I will say, though, Minecraft does have meme power going into it.
It does. It does. However, I think Lilo and Stitch is going to pull more of the millennial power. And it's going to pull more of the traditional family audiences.
Yeah.
Where Minecraft traditional family, they might have gone and seen it if one of the kids was kind of into it, but that was more again meme-ish and straightforward. Straightforward, in my opinion, the reason Minecraft movie has done as well as it has is because the TikTok trend of destroying theaters, which is a horrible thing to say, but that has helped it. It's kind of sad when Jack Black has had to go to theaters asking audiences to please not destroy the theater. I'm gonna stick with my 30 million a day, bringing me to my 120, and I'll give my leeway. I'm gonna keep within 15 million though. I'm gonna go to 135, so it's 120 to 135.
Okay.
I think your 85 is going to be way short, which is still good for it. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, yeah.
That one we might be close to now. Let's see, Lilo and Stitch budget.
I think it's too far out still.
The original, that was the original. Okay, so the remake, which premieres in May, is expected to have a higher budget. According to Deadline, the live-action version is expected to gross over 100 million at the box office. The original film, nope, that you didn't give me the actual answer. According to IMDb, the estimated budget is 150 million.
You good?
Yeah.
All right.
Sorry. Phone went off about something that I didn't expect it to go off about.
Okay.
Anywho,
Oh,
moving on right along. Yeah, that's what I was like. Wait, what?
okay.
Yeah. Going back to Disney Parks blog. What did you do over there? My screen just freaked out for a second. I'm sorry. Let Stitch crash your life with an all-new product across categories. I think we're a little excited about this movie. You good?
Yeah.
Okay. Get ready for Stitch to take over your life with the most adorable, mischievous way possible. Right in time for the release of the all-new live-action reimagining of Disney's 2002 animated classic Lilo and Stitch, opening in theaters exclusively May 23rd, 2025. I think we're a little excited about this movie. I have to say, I love this giant stuff. Thing's huge. Do we have a price on it? Available at Target. Are you going to take me to it? Sure. We're born in the 50s, apparently. Not available. No, that's not even the same one. Does it give us a price? It does not give us a price. Apparently, it's for ages 2 and up.
Wow.
I know stuffed animal had to be appropriate for ages 2 and up. What is this?
Freakish. That's what.
Many Mood Stitch.
Ugh.
This is creepy. This makes me think furry, but Stitch. Do we get a video? Do you have a video for us to see? No. I don't. Maybe there's not one, but give me a second. I gotta go jump to the tube.
Tube.
Every time I look up YouTube on this computer now, Superman pops up. I'm trying not to use somebody else's video. I'm trying to just find a video about the thing. Okay. Okay, yes, turn it on. Okay. This is coming from C-Rad.
Was just a little tag that was on him when he was in the box. So we're going to get rid of that. I know everybody always yells at me. Like if you're talking to him, he's not going to talk back. He makes little blinking noises when he blinks his eyes. So cute. But there's different things if you move him different ways.
It's legitimately a furry but Stitch.
Oh, he's angry. Don't be angry.
Why is this a thing?
Oh, he's shooting lasers with his eye.
Okay. I satisfied the need to go look it up. We're good. We don't need to look it up. He's $40. What in the world? This is cute though. I like this. Give me more of this. Little like collectibles. You're supposed to be paying attention to the show.
I am.
No, you're looking at your phone.
Oh, I do want some of those though. Do I? I don't need them.
I don't know. The in the cage is pretty good.
And the surfing one too.
Yeah.
The sunglasses.
So the only 7 of them. $10 each, not bad.
No.
Not even anything for the yellow bar. Really? I heard you'd be excited about Legos.
No.
Thought you like Legos.
I don't have anywhere to put them.
That's
Also,
incredible.
that's a play set, not a model set. I prefer model Legos.
Do you want to remote control Stitch?
Wow. No.
Yeah. Look at the stock footage. I remember like these cheap kind of toys like when I was a kid, and even then they were cheap and nobody really cared for them. I'm just surprised by how much merch and such is coming out for Stitch. Like, full new Spirit jersey. Do you need a dog outfit for one of your cats?
No.
But you can make Spider-Man in a Stitch.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I'm looking at the... I'm distracted because I'm looking at the FanFest stuff from tonight. Because tonight is a team member preview. I'm scouting, okay?
You can look at it after the show that we are
I'm
currently in the
seeing
middle
if
of.
we have to show it on the show.
Because we're now having to step into your synopsis for Daredevil.
Oh, shoot. Are we starting that now? I was not ready at all.
That was the last item that we had.
Yep. What was that? Episode 9? Yeah.
That sounds correct.
Yes. All right. Daredevil spoilers ahead for last week's season finale. Following Matt Murdock's shocking decision last week to take a bullet for the Kingpin, the episode kicks off with a flashback to Vanessa Fisk paying a visit to Benjamin Poindexter and making him an offer. She'll set him free if he does her a favor. Cue the credits. This is coming from comicbookmovie.com once again. Cut back to the present and we find Matt being treated for his gunshot wound, finally regaining consciousness. Heather and Kirsten are there, but he calls out Karen's names first, which doesn't go unnoticed by his new girlfriend. As Murdock comes to his senses, he tells Kirsten that Vanessa ordered the hit on Foggy. The two lawyers try to remember Foggy's old case and why it would have caught Vanessa's eye, but Heather doesn't want to hear it and tells Matt to rest. She even goes on to defend the Fists, and Matt again tries to convince her he's telling the truth to no avail. Fisk and Vanessa regroup after the attack and reaffirm their unwavering loyalty to each other, with things seemingly falling into place. They reveal their plans to move billions through the Newport project. The Kingpin then goes on the offensive, declaring an all-out war on vigilantes, unleashing his anti-vigilante task force. He also orders Buck to head to the hospital and take care of the good lawyer once and for all. Fisk meets privately with Sheila to set her straight and ensure everyone working for him is fully committed. In the hall, she runs into Commissioner Gallo, who urges her to stand against Fisk with him. She voices her support, albeit reluctantly. Back at the hospital, Matt senses something is wrong and slips out undetected, just as Buck is about to administer a kill shot. Without options limited and clock ticking, he heads home where he finds the Punisher. Frank Castle is back, sporting a new haircut, but no coffee. After some pleasantries, Frank reveals he got a phone call telling him to meet Matt and promise to get Murdock out alive. He's also curious why Matt took a bullet for the Kingpin, but Matt has no good answer. So Murdock goes to suit up before the party starts. Sorry, hang on. The Kingpin's task force breaks into Matt's apartment and almost immediately realize they've made a huge mistake as Daredevil and Punisher unleash a new kind of hell upon their corrupted souls. Murdock dislikes Castle's lethal methods, but with the battle raging, he postpones the argument. Eventually, the two adversaries turned reluctant allies emerge victorious, and Matt captures Sergeant Cold North, the cop behind White Tiger's murder. Frank urges Matt to put the dirty cop out of his misery, and Murdock refuses and keeps North alive. The heroes argue again, but re-team when they hear a grenade and jump out the window. Landing on a nearby car, they start to flee on foot when another vehicle pulls up. The driver steps out, and it's Karen Page. What? Frank calls shotgun as they get in and head back to the Punisher's base. Karen patches up Matt while Frank treats himself. He also finally gets his coffee. Apparently, that's a big deal. Matt and Karen try to figure out why Vanessa targeted Foggy and plan to investigate his old case files, inviting Frank along. He declines but promises to put a bullet in Fisk if the Kingpin comes for him. Frank and Karen share a tender goodbye, and Karen offers encouraging words, believing in his capacity for good. After she leaves, he quietly murmurs, "Stay safe." The Kingpin's Acolyte set his plan in motion with Daniel visiting City Council to ensure loyalty. We also see the task force running amok, killing anyone who crosses their path. Matt and Karen dig through files while Matt asks about her relationship with Frank. She brushes it off and the old friends for old time's sake. Karen discovers Foggy's evidence box and learns that the port of Red Hook is a free port exempt from city and federal jurisdiction. Matt connects the dots that Vanessa has been storing art there without customs, taxes, or fear of seizure, effectively laundering money legally. While the Kingpin now building a compound there, he could do the same on a far more nefarious scale. They realize Foggy didn't understand what he found and head to investigate the port while New York erupts into chaos. Before they arrive, the Punisher is already on site. Meeting his fanboys, they're in awe, and he's disgusted. He takes down as many as he can, but is overpowered and captured. Meanwhile, Fisk listens to a recording of Gallo's conversation with Sheila, and we learn a terrified Sheila decided to betray Gallo, putting the commissioner in grave danger. Cut to Gallo's limo, where he's captured by Fisk's task force, and soon is kneeling before the Kingpin. Gallo finally says what everyone's been thinking. Yeah, I was right. You never stopped being the Kingpin. You can't. Fisk punches him in the throat, then literally crushes his skull with his bare hands. Castle awakens face-to-face with Officer Powell, who tries to recruit him while praising the Punisher's work. And this is quotes. Frank responds, "You admire me, huh? You're out of your freaking minds." He doesn't say frickin'. Anytime I say frick, he doesn't use frick. You know that. You're a bunch of clowns. You know that. You freaking clowns admire me. You think you know my pain? You think you know my loss? What do you know about me? How I see the world? You know how I see the world? It's just a circus. A bunch of clowns. I ain't gonna serve with you. I won't freaking piss on you if you're on fire. You got that? And I'm going to circle back around to this because I have some criticism about normies that I'll come back to.
We're going to have to go back and start talking this thing through the front to the start when we get to that point. So go forward.
A wounded Matt and Karen observe the docks from a distance, quickly realizing they're outnumbered. Karen convinces an already wounded Matt to live and fight another day, and they retreat to regroup. By morning, the Kingpin has won the day, and he also offers Heather a job, which she accepts. He delivers an address to the people of New York, enacting martial law, imposing a curfew, and declaring all vigilante activity illegal. We then learn that he and Vanessa are literally keeping everyone standing against them locked up in cages, including Jack, I'm not going to try to pronounce his name, and Frank Castle. Finally, we find Matt and Karen hiding at Josie's bar where they've gathered allies, Detective Kim, Sherry, and more. Potential players for next season loom. Bullseye is still at large, and Angela Del Toro is in the wings. And Kirsten continues working Foggy's case. Matt delivers a rousing speech of his own, setting the stage for next season. I can't see my city, but I can feel it. The system isn't working. It's rotten and corrupt. But this is our city, not his. And we can take it back together. The weak, the strong, all of us. Resist, rebel, rebuild. Because we are the city without fear. And then we get a post-credit scene.
First one of the season.
It's the only one of the season.
That's what I said. First one of the season.
And it's the Punisher
Breaking out of
his
prison.
celebrity status to manipulate a cop before breaking his hand and escaping. There we go.
Okay. Going back to the start of this episode.
Yep.
This is a fantastic fight scene between the Punisher and Daredevil. I actually had found clips of it real quick that I was going to put back up on the screen.
Uh-huh.
Then I remembered how graphic it is. And this is
you can't.
family channel. At least we try to be a family channel.
This is a TVMA episode.
No. This is a little bit beyond TVMA. Like this is a graphic episode. Like this is touching grounds that Marvel would never touch, and this is a Marvel property, which is bizarro still. This is a fantastic fight scene. This is so much fun. There's so much going on. This is how a big fight scene should be shot. Where like the Avenger ones, even the original Avengers one, we just kind of focus one person at a time kind of situation. This one, even when you're focused in on Matt, you still see everything the Punisher's doing behind him. Like everything is still so fluidly moving. This feels like a real scene. This feels like a real action moment happening. The return of Heather. Not Heather, but
Karen.
What's your thoughts of that?
I mean, we knew it was going to happen because she was in the original reshoots. Why would they only pull her back for one episode?
All honesty, I really felt like after the first episode or the trial episode, I feel like she'd been written out of the show. I actually was quite surprised that she was back because I figured we were going to have Heather fill in that spot, opposed to now Heather very much siding with Fisk, which will be an interesting dynamic going into season 2.
Yes.
Though I do like Karen more than I ever liked Heather, so I mean I can't complain. It's just I didn't expect us to go back onto that character. The idea of the Red Port. What's your thoughts there?
I think it's pretty cool. It like logistically makes sense too.
No, yeah, like as soon as they start talking that, I'm like, these are actually story elements that make a lot of sense. Like this actually works. This is actually something that couldn't happen, but could happen.
Yeah.
What do you think the task force is now all legitimately showing the cult of the Punisher?
I think you know what I'm going to get into here.
That's why I set you up.
It has come to me in a vision that the cult of the Punisher is just analog for people who think that the Punisher is cool without ever reading a Punisher comic or understanding the Punisher. I'll put it that way.
Go on.
Because whenever I see somebody who has something with a Punisher logo on them, I immediately think they don't know what it stands for. Because it's not, this guy is cool because he shoots bad guys with his guns. It's more nuanced than that. Because I feel like the general population, their understanding of the Punisher is just he shoots bad guys with his gun and he kills them. That's awesome.
Yeah, but I believe that for the cult of the Punisher, I believe that's really their backstory also.
But what I'm saying right now?
No, I get what you're saying, and you yes, I get where you're coming from. However, what I'm trying to state is straightforward. Okay, hold on. Let me read this from ChatGPT real fast. This is this first paragraph. So the cult of the Punisher is a fanatic group that formed around the symbol and ideology of Frank Castle, aka the Punisher. But instead of just admiring his mission, they worship him like a mythic figure, some even as a messiah or an executioner sent to cleanse the world of evil.
Yeah. Exactly.
I think, without touching into more, I think with the cult being more so new founded, this is an early version of it. I think they're doing a great job portraying it. Because we've known that our bad cop, straightforward from episode 1, has been more so worshiping the Punisher, and we see it in this episode when he's talking to him. But straightforward, I see them, this being the early formation of the cult, and so I think the portrayal of them is like perfect. Yes, I get where you're coming from. Like, this is you're seeing them like you would see anybody else who, like, outside of the, just like in the regular world, who loves the Punisher. The Punisher's a cool character. I am a fanboy of the Punisher. Like, he's not as big to me as Daredevil or the Cap and such, but I am a fanboy of the Punisher. I think the cult is being portrayed perfectly in the show.
Oh, I'm not complaining about how they're being portrayed or anything. I'm just stating that they are an analog to normie Punisher fans.
Yeah.
And I find that
you find that what?
I find it comedic.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I'm not criticizing anything here. I'm actually praising it for Marvel calling that out.
Yeah. Pros, cons throughout the episode. Oh, well, actually, hold on. Before we get to that, going back to last week, we did talk about and predict. I was by far wrong. I was completely off the mark. What do you think of the transition, though, from last episode to this episode?
I mean, it was what I predicted, wasn't it? That he was going to wake up in a hospital?
Well, yes, yes, you had predicted the cult of the Punisher was going to go after him at that point. First off, in my opinion, the timeline of this is kind of wonky. This is going to be critical for a few minutes. So this episode is clearly supposed to be taking place that same night of the shooting.
Yeah.
So it confused me what time the shooting happened, because Matt's gone through surgery at this point.
I would say the ball would start at 7, right? So it would already be dark out. The shooting would be at 8, and he would wake up from the surgery.
I'm going to push your shooting back, because Heather has been at the ball for a while, thinking, and she's already made several calls to Matt trying to find out if he even was going to show up.
Yeah, it's been an hour.
I would go closer to 2.
Okay. So that would put us at 9, right?
Correct.
Which he would go into emergency surgery around 10. He would wake up around like 1. He would have the fight in his house at like 3. And they would meet Karen at like 4. And then they would go to the docks at like 5. Because the next scene after the docks is the sun coming up.
Yes, but if he's there by 5, we would already start seeing the sun. It would already be lighter. The imagery is, it looks more like it's closer to midnight or like 1 a.m. at that point.
I don't know what she's doing.
There was a cat under my chair.
I don't know.
No,
the timing of this episode compared to last episode is weird. I am going to be. No, it's just me being critical. Again, I love this episode. Don't get me wrong. I think the timing is odd between these two. I think if we had portrayed it as the following morning as it were the start of all this stuff, and given it that this was the whole second day, I think this would be better. Because then the pacing could make sense more. If you aren't watching them back to back, I think you'd be fine. But if at this point, if you go back and binge it, I think you're gonna look at it and go, this is a really freaking long night. Like, this night's gone on for at least 12, 13 hours. Because he's also made a time, with him barely able to walk at the moment, to walk from the hospital back to his apartment. For him then to have time to get dressed, and then to go search through all of his old files after getting repatched up by Heather. Like, there's a lot of time in here that we just kind of skim code and jump from one to the next. It doesn't mean that the episode's not good, and it helps with the pacing of the episode. But I don't see how all events that have happened could have happened in one night. Because it's also Fisk gets during this entire time the manager of the city power to come by and look at and tell him how to shut off the power.
Yeah. I think you're nitpicking, Mikey.
All right.
Positive, negative of the episode. I think the action is really, really good.
Yes.
But the last 20 minutes of this episode, it's all just set up for next season.
It is.
Also hyper negative. No Spider-Man. So,
okay. We knew that was an extremely long shot anyways.
The show is immediately a 0 for me.
Which also then sets me up to this. This episode then does not make canonicity sense for Marvel. Because Spider-Man is still in New York. If something big like this was happening, he still would have been somewhere.
Season 2.
Well, no. I get that. But, like, the events of the night.
Season 2. Season 2.
Your score.
This is a 4. 4.5. 4.5.
4.5.
Because, like, I like everything except for, like, the last 10 minutes.
Everything so okay.
Because it's all just building hype for something I'm gonna have to wait a year for.
No, I get where you're coming from. Let me throw that on here while I'm thinking that. I am, and maybe this is fanboy talking. I'm at a 5 on this episode. I think the pacing is great, even though yes, the timing is wonky when I'm thinking about it and looking at it. But the pacing of the episode I think is great. The shots and setup of the shots is really well done. Great cinematography. The use and play of the different lighting effects throughout the whole episode. The action's fantastic. And where you took the last 10, 20 minutes as a downside to it, to me, all that did was hype me. And yes, I'm going to have to sit on this hype now for a year, but it made me like start thinking and wondering what's going to come next. And I'm super hyped for it. So, for the season, any guess of where we're at?
We were what were we at last week? 8.7?
No, at the end of last week, we were at 9.06.
We're at a 9.2, 9.3 then.
9.1 repeating.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Very solid. This was a good show. Unfortunately, nobody watched it.
Well, I think a lot of that is barrier to entry and fatigue.
I think it's more fatigue than anything. Because straightforward, I would give barrier of entry to Agatha all along also, and its first episode did fairly well.
Okay.
And it was just the fall off after episode 2 is what killed that show. This show just never had the hype that had to pick up. So I think this was just straightforward. This also was a more mature show, which on Disney Plus is harder.
Yeah.
But I think this was more so just fatigue. I think it would have done better if Disney had just licensed this episode out to, or this show out to Netflix. I think if this had aired on Netflix, I think it would have gone ahead and would have charted.
Okay, I understand what you're saying. Yeah,
because Netflix would have had more of a mature audience where Disney Plus doesn't.
Yeah, but Disney is also
show for Disney.
Disney is also a smarter company than like the likes of Universal, who you would expect to have the Universal monster movies on their streaming services, Peacock, but they're not.
Well, yes, and that's what's hard about this. Don't get me wrong, I'm happy they did it. I think they did a great job with it.
I feel like this is a great addition to Disney Plus.
See, and I have to stand on the opposite side and disagree on that one.
I'm saying as a whole, as a streaming service, not looking at it with the name, with the idea of Disney Plus as a streaming service. I'm just looking at the titles on this platform. This is a great addition.
No, and I agree in that aspect, but I have to always sit there and look at it the other side. If we're talking Disney Plus, we're mostly talking families, and I don't know how many parents would turn on Daredevil for their 6-year-old.
Yeah. No, yes. I agree.
If you're watching with 6-year-olds, please do not watch Daredevil.
That's a great segue to our next point. In my opinion. To our next segment.
Oh, well, you said point, so I thought you were still staying here. But no, 9.1. Good show. Next show. Maybe a good show. We haven't talked about it yet. We're talking about Andor.
It's Star Wars good again, George.
We'll see. Andor season 1 recap. You know what? Actually, suit over here.
Spoilers from a show from 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Because we didn't watch it until this month.
Okay. This is just a quick recap from ChatGPT because I don't feel like looking up a full synopsis for the entire season. Andor Season 1 is a gritty, slow burn spy thriller set in the Star Wars universe, diving deep into the birth of the rebellion through the eyes of Cassian Andor. Long before Rogue One, it's not your usual force-heavy Star Wars. This is about espionage, oppression, resistance, and personal transformation. The bigger picture, the rebellion awakens. Luthen Real, a shadowy figure behind every early rebel cells, sees Cassian as a key asset. We see the rebellion in its early fractured stages. Idealists, spies, and outlaws trying to organize under the Empire's nose. The show pulls back the curtains on Coruscant politics, introducing Mon Mothma as she risks everything to fund the insurgency. Key arc and highlights: the Aldhani heist, a high-stakes mission with rebel operatives that shows the cost of revolution. Narcana 5, Cassian's imprisonment arc, where we meet Kinoloy and see the brutal machinery of the Empire's labor camps. The Ferrex Uprising, an emotional rebellion finale to the show that shows community uprising symbolizing the spark of the rebellion. Their final thoughts. Andor Season 1 is a slow burn that rewards patience with layered storytelling, world building, and character arcs that set the foundation for the Rebel Alliance. If you want more, if you want the most adult, political, and emotional grounded Star Wars series to date, this is it, according to ChatGPT.
I kind of agree with that sentiment.
I kind of agreed with it. Now, we kind of talked a little bit about this last week. I did not remember character names from Rogue One because that movie was fine. It, like that is a solid movie. I don't ever care to watch it. It's not on my top lineup, but it is a solid movie. It was a good setup for what happens between 3 and 4. Okay. So starting the show, I forgot the fact that Cassian Andor is in that altogether. At that point, since I did not know that, and I did not know the stakes behind Andor, besides the fact we knew he had to survive to get to season 2, it was a fun show to watch for me. However, about halfway through the season is when I realized that I recognized the name enough and I recognized the character and then I recognized the fact he was in Rogue One, and at that point, it became okay. Nothing bad can happen to our character.
Yeah.
And so that kind of killed the hype for me. I think season 1, season 2 should have come out before Rogue One. Because I think that would have
hindsight, though.
It is a lot of hindsight at this point. It's also just bad timeline planning, though, by Lucasfilms.
Yeah.
I will call it out where I call it out. The first arc, to me, is the best arc in the show.
I think it's pretty good.
So the first arc is the setup arc to go and the stealing of the funds from the Imperials. To me, there's even though the scenes of the episodes that are mostly just talking and prepping, it still feels continuous moving. And yes, it's a slower show, and I think that's kind of what hurt it the first time around. But
how was it released the first time around as well? Was it 3-episode batches as well?
I don't think so.
The first 3 episodes were.
The first 3 episodes were, and then every episode after that was 1 week at a time.
Oh my god! Imagine watching that show over 2 months.
That is, and that probably is what hurt it.
Yeah.
What is the name of it? I'm looking for you. Okay. Sorry, what I was trying to figure out was if Andor showed up on Nielsen. So it did appear on Nielsen's reports, ratings. This showed a decline in viewership over time, and the number of minutes streamed decreasing each week. While Nielsen's data can provide insights into the streaming viewership, it's important to note Disney Plus and other streaming services also collect their own data. Additionally, Nielsen can be influenced by factors like the show's release date and competition from other shows. Somebody did up a chart. This was a year ago. The Nielsen viewership.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go ahead. Share screen. Boom. So this is minutes watched.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So Mando season 2, episode 1 had 10,032 million minutes. Boba Fett 389. Kenobi episode 1 and 2, because they dropped together, was 1,026 million. Andor episode 1, 2, and 3 was only at 624. Mando season 3, 823. Ahsoka 829. Its drop off wasn't actually bad. It actually stayed pretty consistent. Lower. It just was lower. It had a smaller, in general, audience. I mean, Mando season 3, the last 3 episodes picked up.
Yeah,
but I believe those were the episodes with Luke, wasn't it?
No, that was season 1. Oh no, season 2. That was season 2.
Yeah, that's those episodes there. That makes sense. Episode 9, though, did not qualify. Episode 9, what is that episode?
Well, released on November 2nd.
Nobody's listening. Under intense scrutiny, while in prison, Cassian makes allies the planet. It's one of the prison arc episodes.
Yeah.
Which was slow. Like I think those episodes were stretched way too much.
I can see why you think that. And I agree. But like, I'm gonna get into it now. This show is some of, if not the best, world building we've ever had in the Star Wars universe.
100% agree.
Because like, it shows us an Imperial prison.
Yeah.
And we've never seen that before. All we've seen is like a brig on like a Star Destroyer or the Death Star. It shows us an Imperial prison or a labor camp and like the inner workings of it and how corrupt it is and how wrong it is. Like they made a mistake and transferred a prisoner from one floor to another when they were supposed to be released. So they killed everybody on the floor. That's crazy to me.
Well, okay. I'm gonna counter you there a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I know they say in the show they made a mistake. I don't think they did. I think the mistake was that it was heard that he came from a different floor.
Yeah, probably.
I think it's supposed to be that, because that's why the doctor makes it clear that nobody leaves here.
My understanding was that they get transferred to a different prison at the end of their thing.
And see, I get where you're coming from with that, but spoiler alert for a show that came out 2 years ago. We find out that what they're working on building are actually the joints for the Death Star, which means no matter what happens, none of those guys would leave.
Yeah.
They just can't, because the Empire has to build this Death Star one way or another. So I think that's why the line with the doctor is so important, where he says that nobody leaves here alive, because he's making it clear to them that he knows for a fact, because he's been to the other floors, that nobody gets to leave.
Yeah. Okay.
I do think it's interesting that we get to watch them build parts of the Death Star. It also confuses me why they're building parts of the Death Star. Like, I get the Death Star has to be built and this thing's massive and hard. It's odd to me that a crucial joint is able to be built by 6 guys in a prison.
I mean, it's kind of how our government works.
Well, no, but we're talking the Star Wars universe. I figured this would be something that would have been being built in place by droids. Like the rest, because legitimately the droids are just putting it into place.
It's the manufacturing of it.
It's weird to me. I might be more nitpicking that, but to me it's weird.
I think you are.
Because I've always seen, in my mind, whenever I go back to those original movies of seeing them and watch it, I always saw the Empire as the very much more technologically advanced group, because that's how they're always portrayed. And so to me, the Death Star, the reason they could build the second one so fast is because it's not humans building it. They're just deploying thousands and thousands of droids to do it. Because to me, that's the only way, realistically, it makes sense to have a second Death Star being built so fast.
Yeah.
Because I really doubt that Palpatine's like, we built this space station, we're not sure if it works. But what about second space station? We don't know if it works. Like the first space station being blown up, that's like, that makes, because we've already gotten at that point the test of Andor, so we know it does work. Not Andor, but Alderaan, so we know it does work. So the second one's being built. To me, it never would make, that wouldn't make sense that it would be like prison workers building it. Makes sense?
I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Okay. I do, don't get me wrong, I do like the arc. I think they spent too long in the arc.
It feels a little fillery.
Mm-hmm. I think we have one too many episodes for the prison.
Yeah.
I think if you cut one episode out and looking at where this says it was, episode 9 would have been the second to last episode of it. Episode 10 is the breakout. Because we only have 2 episodes after that for the escape.
No, No, I actually disagree, because episode 8 is where he gets imprisoned, right?
Okay.
And then 10 is the breakout episode. So 9 is him collecting intel and figuring out a plan. And it's showing you more of the inner workings of the prison.
Correct. I'm not disagreeing with you on that. But at the same time, it feels like a filler episode in the middle of this.
Yeah.
I think the prison arc could have been done in two episodes.
And like I have that same sentiment. It's just I really like what they do world building wise there.
No. And again, you and I are in the same boat, but I have to again bring up, like, when we're looking at the numbers, episode 9 did not qualify.
Yeah.
Meaning it was out of the show. I mean, they're estimating 400 million is still what they're estimating. But if it did not qualify, either that means everything else is more important to watch that week, or it did not get to 400 million and did not chart because it did not do well enough. Because the week before it charted at 385, and the week after it charted at 420. That means I don't see why this would have charted at 400, or not charted at 400. Make sense?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, we have all the way down to 356 that it still was charting at. 674 charts out for the finale, which is better than the start, which is where it realistically should have. It means that people were coming back to watch it. But I think legitimately people were just like probably hearing that there really wasn't much to the episode and probably just backed off it. I wonder if I can find real quick. Let's see.
This could be completely unrelated, but
Rotten Tomatoes.
This might be what it is. If I'm reading this correctly, it's also the day that North Korea fired 23 ballistic missiles into the Sea of Japan. It might be completely unrelated, but
okay. I'm going to say yes and no.
Okay.
It is related in the aspect that there would have been more people watching the news to find out what's going on in the world. But that would not block on the streaming side of Nielsen.
Yeah.
That wouldn't have blocked it. And even if it had bumped it down 1 or 2, it still would have placed somewhere in the top, 10. Nielsen's always top 10. For whatever reason, that 1 week dropped off and didn't even list on the top 10. It may not have ever been super high. I'm not saying it was. God, finding this show is hard. What?
I'm just trying to look up why it wouldn't qualify.
That's what I'm trying to find. Did you do it? You did it. Thank you. Okay. So we're gonna go into you.
How do you spell Nielsen?
Nielsen is Nielsen.
Okay. How would I find something like this?
You gotta go back and forth searching different things. So I like this one I could have searched directly to. Nielsen's report for that episode, the season of Andor.
Okay.
And then I found people that had talked about it and brought it up. Yeah, I mean, even review-wise, that episode rated very, very high.
Yeah. Oh, this was releasing at the same time as She-Hulk. Hold on, does it not qualify because that's when She-Hulk released?
If so, it means that it was sitting at the bottom of the charts, which is possible. It could have been them.
No,
I don't even know if She-Hulk made it to Nielsen. Also, just so you know, I don't believe it ever did, but I could be wrong on that. It depends on what all was going on.
it did.
Did it?
Yep.
It did not.
I'm seeing here it did. So
coming from a game ran straightforward. Nielsen's numbers can definitely rule out that She-Hulk got at least 395 million worth of viewership as the last show. Oh, maybe this was 6 weeks in. So it fell off early then, at least. In short, Nielsen's numbers can definitely rule out that She-Hulk got at least 395 million minutes worth of viewership, as the last show on the top 10 list was Netflix's Instant Dream Home with the exact total. As usual, Nielsen's top ranking shows are mostly Netflix exclusives, with The Sandman, Stranger Things, Never Have I Ever, and Lock and Key towering the competition. Meanwhile, Amazon's Prime Video's reimagined A League of Their Own series, and Hulu's Only Murders in the Buildings prevent absolute control. And then it has the actual chart of that week, and it is not there.
oh, it says DNQ because it fell out of the top 10.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Is it fell out that week, so for whatever reason, it was not being watched as much, unless, again, it got 400 million and everything else just did well. But then that doesn't make sense why the next week would have bounced back in at 420.
Yeah. Oh, hold on. I found it.
What?
I might have. Oh, you have to look at it by week?
Mm-hmm.
So I have to go in like a Wayback Machine for this thing, huh?
I believe they are all categorized to the Wayback Machine. So yes, that's why I went ahead and I pulled from Game Rand, where they had the week of She-Hulk's release, everything coming out, because they saved that information back because they were doing it in real time. We're retrospect going back and looking at all this.
Yeah. Because this is all TV. If I have to add in streaming, I'm going to be a little bit angry. Yeah, I'm going to have to add in streaming.
What?
I'm trying to search this up. This is all TV ratings and not streaming.
I mean, this is a Reddit post from 3 years ago. Everybody's talking about how brilliant the show has been, but how slow this episode was, and how they're not recommending people watch it.
Mm.
A lot of people are in the same agreement that they feel like this episode was either filler or is starting to drag.
Yeah.
Somebody came back and re-commented back to it after the next week, which is the breakout, that this episode was great compared to last week. Last week's episode should not exist. And it got about 40,000 upvotes and 2,000 downvotes. So that was kind of at least the Star Wars Reddit group community's take on it. So I think that's what the problem with that episode is.
Is that it was just a slower episode?
Not that it was a slower episode, but it feels like a filler episode, like you and I just agreed.
Yeah.
And it feels like it could be cut. And I think it could. I think if that episode was cut, and maybe we take out some of the extra little side scenes that are in that episode, you could still fill the rest of that world building of that episode for the prison into the episode before and after it, and it'd be fine. So, I really do like, though, the rebellion at the end of the season. I kind of like how that all worked out together. How like that felt like very generic. Well, not generic, but a very authentic.
Yeah,
it felt like something that would have actually happened. The writing of this show is very, very good. The dialogue feels real.
Yeah.
There are a couple times where Cassian has some of the worst writing in the show, which is kind of sad.
He does really well with his performance, though.
He does. No. I'm not criticizing the actor in this case. I'm criticizing the writers. I think the writers wrote for him some really piss poor writing. I think the actor did a fantastic job, and he makes it that you take a character that I don't know if we're supposed to like, but he makes you like him. Your overall thoughts of the season?
I think the action scenes are phenomenal.
Agreed.
And you and I have been chatting intermittently while we're watching it. And I brought this up to my coworkers as well. That like specifically, I think it's let me see what episode it is. It's episode 3, where he meets with, I don't remember his name, the rebellion guy.
Okay.
In the warehouse, and they send that hit squad to Ferrix. And like it's specifically the set of scenes when they leave the warehouse and they're now like playing cat and mouse through the streets, sort of, where they think that he's in one place and he's not, he's in another, and then they call it out and they send the speeder. Specifically, the way that is all written made me fall in love with this world again.
Yeah.
In a way that I haven't felt in a long time.
Though I will say this, it makes the Empire look like a bunch of...
These are the Empires. This is not the
Empire.
No,
but this is supposed to be the security department of the Empire.
There's some bums that got some blasters, and they were like, we're going to save the Empire. No,
because
these guys are not the Empire.
They look like a bunch of clowns.
Because they are.
I'm like, what is going on with this? Let me see. Davos Goldham. That is the Imperial officer who ends up having to go work for, who ends up getting fired because of
the scrawny one.
The scrawny one.
Okay.
I love his portrayal.
He's really good.
Richard Dillon. I pulled up the cast list.
Okay.
Like, I'm sitting there every time I see this character, I'm like, I absolutely cannot stand you, and thank you for that.
Who was Richard? Who did he play? Oh no.
That the scrawny like officer.
Okay, and then who was the other name you mentioned?
I did his character name.
I'm
Davo.
lagging here. I'm doing the best I got. Okay.
His character name is Davo. His name is Richard.
Okay, thank you. I was lagging. Thank you.
Apparently, I think he did a phenomenal job of making me hate him, which is a weird way to say, give him praise.
Yeah.
Because I'm just like, I cannot stand you as a character, but you are so good as the character.
Yes. What I
Um,
liked about it was that there was like a certain vulnerability to his character where like he was willing to take these big moves, but then once he's on the other side of the barrel, he like shuts down. Do you know what I mean? Like he's willing to lead this hit squad in, but then like as soon as he's taken hostage by them in that gunfight, he shuts down entirely. And like when he fails at the end, he's just emotionally and physically just blank. And I think that's really
such
special.
good. It's such good like facial storytelling.
Yes.
That's not what we are doing there.
Are you okay?
Yes, I'm trying to make it easier for you.
Okay. I knew who you were talking about.
Well, no, yes. I did not realize until watching the show, though, how many big names are actually in the show.
There's a lot of big names.
Because like Stellan Skarsgård, like I butchered your last name. I'm so sorry. Like he was in Mamma Mia, and Mamma Mia 2.
Okay.
What?
Okay.
Well, like those were actually pretty big and pretty successful movies.
Uh-huh.
I think he did great in that role as the like rebellion manipulator.
Yes.
Is that a good way to word it?
I would say he's like the spark that like the gas that Mon Mothma's been setting ignites.
Yeah. Where is she?
I'm
looking for not Mon Mothma, the girl from Intelligence.
Oh, the Imperial. Oh, she's probably at the top then.
I thought so. Is she Val? She's not Val.
No.
Maybe she's Val.
I think she's Elizabeth. Kyla? Or Deirdre?
No,
not her.
It's not her.
Denise. Yeah, her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love this character.
Her performance is amazing as well.
Her performance is fantastic.
Who directed this show? Who directed you?
And did you return to season 2?
Please.
The director of Star Wars series Andor, Toby Haynes, Susan White, Benjamin Korn, Ariel Kalman. Yes, sure. Season 2 did not have all the same directors back.
Rats.
1, 2. So 3 of the 6 of them or 7 of them returned. Huh.
Okay.
That's interesting.
Oh no, what I'm reading, we might not have all the details yet because it's not out yet. What I'm reading is it's 2 directors did season 2. No.
See that the last one was saying 3 directors did it because these were the first 6. These are the 6 directors that did for season 1. We know, according to what that was saying, was Ariel Kleinman, who did 6 episodes, returned.
But see, he didn't do anything from season 1 is what I'm reading here.
Who?
Ariel.
Okay. This IMDb, this is season 1.
Where are you looking? Uh-huh. Scroll down. Click on that. Click on 6 episodes. Season 2.
Oh.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, so it's weirdly listed then. Okay, so let's just do it this way then. So you were just Toby Haynes was just season 1. Ariel season 2.
Yeah, no, none of the directors returned.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That does not give me very good confidence. Tony Gilroy, you wrote.
But they also have. I will point this out as well. For season 1, I assume we're going to get a similar structure for season 2. Each 3-episode arc has a different director and writer.
Well, I mean, Tony Gilroy is listed as credited on creator and writer for all of it.
Because he was, I assume he was.
George Lucas is just based on Dan Gilroy, 456, 789.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? Oh no, we'll find out tonight when we start watching.
Yeah, but that also makes me then see where the parts of like season 1 where I felt like not necessarily every episode connected.
Yeah.
That shows me why it feels like every episode does not necessarily connect. Like they obviously keep elements of like his money was here. And so he has his money, but then he needs to be arrested, so the money gets left there, but he still needs the money for later on, so he's going to get the money back. Like, there's a couple bits in that part that I was like, Anywho, not this is going to be weird. Your score. I'm trying to think how did what?
Season score.
Yes, but then we're going to be a little bit more biased on it because it's the overall season, opposed to where we've been on we've been more realistic to it.
I'm gonna be real. 4.5.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I don't know if I can meet you up there. This has been my problem since I finished watching it. I've been trying to figure out this number. And I've been trying to do the math that really in my head is what I'm trying to do. Give me a second. I need the Andor season 1 episode list. All right. And then I need over here. I need this guy. Casa, that's the introduction to the world. I felt was a little slow, but it was still interesting. I'd go to 4. That would be me. This is kind of continuing around. probably a 3. It's solid. Reckoning for Aldani. This is the introduction to that. It was a 4. The Axe Forgets 3. The Eye 5. Announcement 3. 4 for Narcana. 2 for Nobody's Listening. 4 One Way Out. And 5 and 5 for Daughter and Riggs. Sorry, I'm too much of a numbers person. I had to look back at it. Okay, so before I did this, the number that was sitting in my head was a 3. Okay.
Okay.
Me quickly doing that, I came to a 3.8.
Okay. So 4.
I'm gonna sit at a 3.5 to 4, right in that space. It's solid. It's not bad, but it's not great. It's solid. I think that's what the problem the first season had in the Nielsen numbers was it wasn't the big wow show to get everybody to come watch it, but it was a good show for those who sat down and enjoyed it. Like if you're a Star Wars fan, this is a Star Wars show. This is a good Star Wars show. But if you aren't super into Star Wars, this is not the show for you, which is unfortunate. Yeah. So I feel better because that was my thing was I'm like, as a Star Wars fan head, I'm probably at a 4.5 because the world building is fantastic. There is a lot going on with it, but the criticalism of it is where I would pull myself back at.
Yeah.
So a 3.8. I'll give it a 4. I'll round it to a 4. You were at a what? I'm sorry.
4.5, which puts us at 8.5.
8.5 out of 10. Not as good as Daredevil, which I would concur. It's not as good as Daredevil.
No, I wouldn't say so. It's still really good.
It's still really good. I'm concerned about how season 2 is going to go. Because again, the show was canceled, but I think it was contract fights is why it came back.
It was contracted for 2 seasons.
And so I think that's what it was there was enough between the actors and the creator fighting back that it was either spend a lot of money and pay them all out or spend a lot of money and make the show.
Yeah.
I think they decided lean on the show. I don't see it going past season 2.
Well, this was confirmed to be the final season.
Okay. I hadn't read that. Again, sometimes shows just get greenlit for 2 seasons or 3 seasons and then see how it goes from there. So that means we know where we have to end up at. We have to end up at being set up for Rogue One.
Yes.
Predictions, guesstimates, thoughts, concerns of what's going to happen this season.
I have only seen one clip.
That's more.
I'm going in basically blind.
Okay.
I'm excited because the
so
clip I saw makes it look like the show has a bigger budget than the first season. Does that make sense?
It does. And/or budget. Shoo. Okay. 2 seasons in Disney Plus Andor series has a total production cost of over $645 million. The second season alone was about 290 of it.
So it's actually a lower budget then.
It is a smaller budget, is what that is estimate.
But everything I'm seeing, because I've seen one clip and then a snippet from one of the trailers just now while we were looking at it. Everything I'm looking at makes it look like it has a bigger budget, and a lot of I don't know. Go ahead. Sorry.
According again, this is AI quickly pulling numbers, so I don't have to fully research into it. Season 1, not explicitly stated, the report suggests it was a budget around 250 million, with season 2 costing 290 million, but both seasons 645 million. So the math doesn't math.
Yeah.
There might be other that may be considering in also property taxes and marketing in there is what that
yes.
makes,
Okay.
that's not
Okay.
even yet.
Because this season isn't being marketed as hard as the first season was.
Correct. So this season production cost looks like it was about about almost $41 million more than the first season was.
Okay.
These shows are too stupidly priced, Disney. You cannot have $300 million for a show is ridiculous.
That's over 12 episodes, though.
Okay.
12 1-hour episodes.
Let's see. Am I correct? I'm correct. Okay. That's still $25 million an episode.
Yeah. You look dumb.
What?
I was talking to Lynn.
Oh.
Ow. There you go.
What? How much did they say that was per episode?
25.
It's more than double the cost of Grey's Anatomy per episode.
Grey's Anatomy reuses the same sets over and over again. They don't have to build a new set.
No. I agree. However, Grey's Anatomy has been around forever, and their actors have been on the show forever, which means they also being paid better.
Use like no CGI for Grey's Anatomy. They use CGI once a season, basically.
Correct. I'm just saying, a regular running TV show, which is what Andor is supposed to be, and it's running twice the budget.
I don't think Grey's Anatomy is a good comparison.
I'm just trying to figure out what other show I can look up. It's 10 million more than Daredevil Born Again episode were.
Okay, I'll give you that.
I mean, it's episodes. It's not even. I'm not even going to criticize just Andor on it. This is the problem we've been seeing with Star Wars TV shows. Look at the ungodly cost of the Acolyte. Remember, the cost of the Acolyte was pretty much 12 Godzilla movies of like the most recent one.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
I think it's. I don't think you should compare it to Godzilla -1 because that is such an anomaly in filmmaking that you should never bring it up ever again. Because I don't know how that man was able to make a Godzilla movie that cheap and it be that phenomenal.
But that's the kind of people they need to be finding for a television show is what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah.
Somebody who doesn't just blow cash left and right because they can. Let's see, budget per episode. The Acolyte was cheaper per episode than Andor season 2.
Well, yeah, because one of them was actually successful than the other one.
But still, I don't know. To me,
You're also looking at what, a 6-8 episode show comparatively to a 12?
Yeah.
Or are you breaking it down per episode?
I'm looking only per episode. When we're talking these numbers, I'm looking per episode.
Okay.
Because I said, or wait, hold on. Maybe I'll look at how much did they say per episode again?
It was 25.
Okay, sorry. And Ahsoka was Acolyte was 3.7 million more per episode.
Okay.
At that point, we're talking change when we're talking, $30 million. But
yep.
And even people, when they're talking of the cost of per episode of Acolyte right here, this was a Reddit post from 9 months ago. Apparently, the Acolyte was reporting the episode budgets were twice as big as Kenobi's. And Kenobi wasn't a good show, but I think they stretched that dollar very well. I think this show realistically could have come in closer to probably that $15 to $20 million mark per episode, or $15 to $10 million mark per episode. I think that would have, on season 1 and 2, would have helped and been able to make it more sustainable.
Yeah.
We also don't know whatever deals they made with all these bigger actor names that they had in it. Anywho, you got anything else to add?
Nope.
You ready to wrap it?
Yep.
It's only been a 3.5 hour episode.
Yep. Good luck editing.
Shut up.
Mm-hmm.
Anywho, you made it this part of the video. Be sure to like, subscribe. Comment Justin has bad hot takes.
I don't think that's true at all. They're not hot. They're cold.
You made a hot take earlier. I forgot what it was, though.
Oh, yeah, but it was a good hot take.
What hot take was it?
That the normies don't understand what the Punisher logo means. I don't think that's a hot take. I think that's a lukewarm take.
Yeah, that's not really hot. Anywho, till next time. See you later.
Bye.